If it were so easily fixed, it would have been fixed then or perhaps during the game Saturday.
You're not that good.
That's the bottom line. They're not that good. And Matty Mock is displaying the lack of talent that would make him a special quarterback. He flings the ball too much for my taste. You can't just fling it. Sidearm throws on the run to his left. Those end up in the other team's hands, and they did on Saturday. 5 turnovers. Now, the great Gary Pinkel, who has seemingly never adjusted at halftime. He's probably the worst game day coach in America. I don't know of a worse one, but I don't see every one of them, Coach. I'd like you to point out who could possibly be worse. It's been a trademark of his career.
What does that mean?
That means that he very rarely, if ever, makes any constructive adjustments at halftime, even though halftime in college football is about 7 hours long. So Missouri came out and was just as bad in the second half as they were in the first, almost worse. So 34-0, that number will be stamped on this team, and it won't go away. But as is their wont in the overrated, over-glorified SEC, they get to get healthy with Vanderbilt. That's always a nice tonic. So all of the cracks in Missouri's football foundation will be masked once again this weekend when they play Vandy. Ugh.
I'm sorry, who did you say you were?
Vanderbilt. Not Gloria Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt University. It's an afternoon game. That means nobody cares about it. That's never good either, I suppose. But that way Missouri can just go ahead and win in quiet silence against a bad team. And actually, wait a minute. That's not this weekend. That's the 25th. This weekend's Florida. I misspoke. The homecoming game against Vandy is the 25th. But this Saturday, they go to Florida. 6 o'clock game. Yeesh. Florida's bad, but they'll probably beat Missouri at Florida. They lost to LSU. They gave up 30 points to one of the worst offenses in football, LSU. Of course, Florida's offense is bad, too. That's Missouri. Then you've got the Cardinals against the Giants. 2 games this weekend, Saturday and Sunday night. Saturday night poses the biggest problem for the Cardinals yet. Adam Wainwright shouldn't be pitching in this playoff series. In fact, I would go so far as to say Adam Wainwright was selfish in pronouncing himself ready to pitch Saturday night. He was nowhere near ready. He knew it. Matheny knew it. Everybody in their organization knew it. Even the most ardent fans knew it, though they'll never admit it. And all it took was a couple of innings to figure it out if you didn't know it. So to me, that's a selfish move. Everybody was well rested. There was no reason for Wainwright to pitch that game. Lynn could have easily started game 1. And if I were the Cardinals, I'd be getting Walker ready for game 5. Because he can't do any worse than Adam Wainwright's been doing. Something's wrong with Adam Wainwright. I think we can all agree on that. He's nowhere near the pitcher he was in his dominant days this season. He's nowhere near the pitcher he was in the month of September. He's lost. Whether it's physical, mental, both, combination of the two, who knows? But he is not an effective starting pitcher deserving of another start in this series. And I think it's selfish if he portrays himself as such. So that puts the Cardinals behind the 8 ball for game 5. Fortunately, they were able to win last night's game after Trevor Rosenthal gagged it away in the 9th inning, which is his want. I mean, does anybody out there feel confident when Rosenthal goes in the 9th inning of a one-run game? I don't. In fact, I'm confident that he'll put at least 2 runners on base. Then it just comes down to whether or not the opposition gets the big hit. But he'll put the tying run at second base. He almost always does.
Absolutely. Hey.
He doesn't understand what a 1-2-3 9th inning is. We used to say the same things about Isringhausen, give you heart failure. Rosenthal's worse. And so last night, he got helped out by an umpire because clearly Crawford should have walked. The umpire bailed Rosenthal out, and that would have meant that Wong's home run would have merely tied the game. And no one knows if the pitch would have been grooved to him like that had the Giants actually had the lead. Who knows? But Crawford clearly walked. The umpiring, once again, in these playoffs is horrific. Absolutely horrific. But who's the dumber manager, Bochy or Matheny? I say it's too close to call. It's a shame that these two teams, the Giants and the Cardinals, who fight to the very last out, neither of which will quit, are managed by these two knuckleheads. How about Bochy allowing a right-hander to face Taveras in a pinch hitting role and then a right-hander to face Matt Adams? Clearly a right-hander was summoned to pitch to Wong as well, but they were probably out of left-handers by that time. But the first two, they were not. So boom and boom, 2 home runs. That blows you away. Molina bunting. Now Matheny will backtrack and say that there was a consideration of his oblique when they had him bunt, but that's not true. Don't be fooled by that. That's just another lie. If that were the case, then in his final at-bat, when it was even worse, and he couldn't so much as run, why was he swinging away with a runner on first? Why wouldn't he bunt then? So that wasn't the case. Matheny foolishly has Yadier Molina sacrifice to move 2 runners over to third. Then, of course, the Giants did the predictable. They intentionally walked Wong to get to Grichuk, and they had Grichuk set up for the strikeout until the pitch was grooved. People are saying, how are the Cardinals hitting home runs? Have you seen the pitches they're hitting? In the playoffs, the Dodgers and the Giants aren't pitching some of these guys very well. I mean, these are watermelons going up there. Right in the power slot for a left-handed hitter. And they aren't missing them. Still got to hit them. And the Cardinals are not missing them. Saturday night's game featured some great fielding in the National League Championship Series, didn't it, by Carpenter and Wong? As bad as Wainwright was, if not for those 2 miscues, it may have only been a 1-0 game. And the umpires, of course, missed another call. Madison Bumgarner's balk with a runner at third. Should have allowed the Cardinals at least a run and avoided them being shut out. With Molina's injury, now you get Tony Cruz, who doesn't understand that you don't backhand a ball in the dirt. You get in front of it and move your rear end and block it. That allows the tying run to score. Earlier, a pass ball on Cruz. The latter was a wild pitch, although it's Cruz's fault that it got past him. And he couldn't find it. So the tying run scores from second. Now, the comeback by the Cardinals after the Giants' great comeback leads people in the media to say, as Bernie did today, and Bernie's a good friend whom I respect, but please, this rallying around Molina? Really? Why? Because he hit a home run to win the game? You think? Colton Wong went up there and said, I'm doing this for Yachty. Did Rosenthal rally around Molina? I don't think so. Did Cruz? I mean, he's his backup. He's playing his position. If anybody was going to rally around Molina, wouldn't it be Tony Cruz? He didn't rally around Molina. Nobody rallied around Molina. And how about Oscar Taveras? Matheny clearly has buried him, not in the starting lineup last night against the right-handed pitcher. He's clearly buried, and I love the way Matheny has either induced the broadcasters, especially Harold Reynolds and Verducci, not Joe Buck, but the other two just don't know much, it seems to me. And so whatever they're spoon-fed by a manager, they'll just buy into. You would think Randall Grichuk is Roberto Clemente. First of all, he dropped the ball Saturday night. All right, would have been a nice catch, but he dropped it. Just as Jay dropped the ball last night. It's funny, I see Lorenzo Cain for the Royals running and diving everywhere, and when he hits the ground, he holds on to it. That's what a good play is. Sometimes a great play. These were not good plays. These were two outfielders dropping the ball. Not like Matt Holliday drops them, but still they drop them. Let's call a spade here. And then I thought Harold Reynolds was going to fall out of the booth when Randall Grichuk threw the ball from shallow right field to home plate, and Michael Morse, who runs about as quickly as an oxen cart, stayed at third base. Oh, he wasn't going to challenge Grichuk. Challenge him from where? Just behind Wong? You wouldn't challenge John Jay from there. I mean, this baloney, Grichuk was like 3 for 22 or whatever before he got a hit last night. Taveras is not playing because Matheny doesn't like Taveras. It's always personal with Matheny. It was the same way with Freese. Now it's Taveras. Perhaps Burgess falls into that category as well. Earlier in the year, it was Wong. He didn't like Wong. Sent him down. He's thanking his lucky stars he has him now. Jeff is up first. Welcome to the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court, Jeff. How are you today?
I'm doing good, Kevin. How are you?
Doing well also.
Kevin, you hit on a few things that I also wanted to put my 2 cents in on. There's no doubt that there is something wrong with Wainwright, and whether it's mental, physical, both, like you said, I don't know. But, this is where the manager, Kevin, a manager with a backbone, needs to step up and say, you know what? I don't know what it is, but you're not right. I've got to put you down. You're hurting the team. Michael Watkins, you're going to be starting. That has to be done. The second thing that needs to be done, Kevin, is to sit down with Trevor Rosenthal. You're scaring the crap out of me every ninth inning. Have you ever heard of 1, 2, 3? No. You have a flat fastball. That's about the only pitch you have. You're getting rocked left and right, or you're walking guys. I would put, personally for me, Kevin, because right now I think he's pitching as good as anybody, Pat Nechek would be my 8th inning guy. And lastly, with the Cardinals, because they did this all the time with David Freese, Kevin, as you pointed out, for a Daniel Descalso or a Pete Cosma, who statistically were no better than Freese defensively. Well, I can promise you that Borges is better defensively than Holiday. And Holiday, you're not doing anything at the plate anyway. So you know what? Late innings and close games, I'm sitting your butt as well, and I'm going to have an outfield of Grichuk, Jay, and Borges that at least I know guys can catch the ball consistently and cover some ground.
Yeah, well, Jay scares me too. But Burgess should be there out there in place of Jay, I believe. And let me tell you something else too. The way Matheny has led the media around here to basically assassinate Oscar Taveras' defensive play. I never saw bad defensive play from Oscar Taveras this year. They act as though Taveras is running around misjudging fly balls, dropping balls, throwing the ball over the relay man, the cutoff man. I've never seen him do any of the sort. I mean, I don't get it.
I haven't either, Kevin, but then again, I haven't seen him play enough now.
Well, when I see him play, he doesn't do it. It's clear that Matheny doesn't like him, and that's the only reason for this nonsense. Grichuk hasn't done anything. And as far as Nechek, you think Nechek should be the closer. I would disagree with that. Nechek hasn't pitched well. In fact, September he was disastrous, gave up the game-winning home run to Kemp in Los Angeles in the only game the Dodgers won. The guy that I would close the game with is Martinez because he's got the nastiest stuff, and I still think you can't just go out there and, as Rosenthal keeps proving, throw one fastball after another, especially when your control is as wild as a March hare.
Okay, and frankly, I can live with that as well. I can live with you going out there right now for Trevor.
Yeah, I mean, how could I do worse?
And real quick, Kevin, on to Mizzou. Is Matty Locke really the best the Columbia has to offer right now at the quarterback position? That's really all. That's the best player for that position down there.
Yeah, I don't know what else they have. They've got a redshirt freshman. I think that's it in terms of anybody that they would turn to. So I don't know how well that situation would play out. But Matty Mock has to get his head out of his rear end and stop flinging the ball and understand when he throws those little popsicles up there trying to lead a receiver right into a safety, there is a safety there. And every time he does that, the safety gets a very grateful interception. So he's got to stop doing those things. And I don't know, this offense looks like a disaster to me. They don't protect him. The offensive line can't block a fly. So this team is going to benefit from the lousy schedule that they have, and they'll win their 6 games, and they'll go to a bowl game. This team is undeserving of a bowl game. When you lose a game 34-0 at home, when you lose to Indiana at home, you should never go to a bowl game. But they will because they'll get 6 wins.
Well, watching Mark pretty closely, Kevin, these last couple games, I mean, it's just like you said. It's either if the first read isn't there, then he's running around looking for something, trying to make something happen and flinging it all over the yard, or trying to run for 2 or 3 yards. Or, as you pointed out, before he's even in his full drop back, he's getting 2 or 3 rushers on him because the line can't block.
Yeah.
You know, there's really only a couple really talented players on that offense, in my opinion, and Tinkle, as he normally would, doesn't find a way to get these guys the ball enough.
Yeah, and it's interesting because people will say, well, look, they won at South Carolina. Well, in a normal year, that would be a nice victory, but it's not a normal year. South Carolina is terrible. Just like Georgia wasn't any good last year. Well, they were good, but they had all their guys injured when Missouri went there. In a normal year, winning at Georgia would be a feather in your cap. So Missouri was fortunate these last 2 years, and fortunate again to not face Gurley this past Saturday, but that just shows you how bad it could have been. Oh.
Yeah, it's really ugly down there, Kevin. It's just, to me, I just don't see it getting any better anytime soon. So, all right, well, thanks for your time, bud.
Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate it. No, I don't either. I don't see it getting better anytime soon either. Not at all. Not at all. So we've got Bochy having a right-hander pitch to DeVeris and Adams and eventually Wong. We've got Matheny having Molina bunt. We've got Cruz not blocking the pitch. We've got a lot of bad baseball and a lot of bad managing going on in this series so far. But a lot of home runs coming from the Cardinals, which means a lot of bad pitching from the Giants and the bullpens. These 2 bullpens were supposed to be good. These 2 bullpens have been atrocious. Right now I'm starting to think whoever comes out of the American League, and of course almost a slam dunk, it's going to be the Royals. I don't see them losing. They will clearly have the edge in the bullpen matchups. And by the way, the Strickland kid, Hunter Strickland, pitching to Matt Adams. He's got Matt Adams just begging him, please throw me a fastball. No more of these sliders. Because Adams couldn't hit that if he stood up there till midnight. So what does the guy do after throwing a couple of called strike sliders? I'll sneak a fastball past you. Sure you will. By the way, I'll throw it right in his wheelhouse. You didn't sneak it past him, did you? I'm amazed at some of the things that go on in these games. It is amazing. Truly amazing. I'll tell you what else is amazing. The work that Zycan Exteriors can do for you. Storms, rain, wind damage. You got any of those things? Hail? Well, we know that the Manchester, Chesterfield, Baldwin, Olivet area all got hit hard in the last month or so with hail. I always prefer a locally owned company. These fly-by-night operators are all over town when the bad weather hits, but the company that's been here since 1949, Zycan Exteriors, an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. They're a locally owned and operated company. I used them for my roof when I had wind damage. And guess what? They took all the pain out of the insurance company's experience for me. I didn't even have to deal with the insurance company. They met my adjuster at my house, went up on my roof, and when they came down, I had a brand new, full roof replacement with Owens Corning preferred shingles, all upgraded. They're the storm damage experts with a free damage inspection and a free roof inspection awaiting you if you simply make the call. 636-345-6873. 345-6873. And don't worry about your insurance company. Zycan will meet them at your house. That's what I love. We've had folks that had first inspections and they were recommended a patch job. They called Zycan Exteriors, got the second inspection, which they're legally entitled to. And Zycan met their insurance adjuster and they got full roof replacements. One fellow was turned down twice, but he called Zycan and got a full roof replacement. 636-345-6873. And these next 45 days are critical because if you've had any damage from the storms, they're going to be looked at differently once the calendar turns to January. The stipulations on what the insurance considers damage, it's going to be harder and harder to get a full roof approval if you wait until January. So check it now if you have any damage at all. If your neighbors had damage, chances are your roof is damaged. And you've got nothing to lose by calling. 636-345-6873. When no one else can, Zycan Exteriors. We're back with more of the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court right after this.
dawn. The nurses all gathered round, and they gazed in wide wonder.
Huddle up, team. We need more intensity out there. And nothing gets me fired up like winning awesome tickets to things. And how are we going to win them?
The Coors Light Score the Silver Sheets promotion.
That's right. Just look for specially marked cases of Coors Light, and you can win tickets to the biggest college games and other amazing prizes. Okay, hands in. Legal copy on 3.
No purchase necessary. Ends 11:59 p.m. CT or 12/31/14. Open to legal U.S. residents of 50 USDC 21 plus years of age. For rules, see CoorsLight.com/kickoff. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
Hot Shots in Arnold and now Webster Groves is the place for all the games all the time. Hot Shots in Arnold and Webster Groves is your place for all your NHL action. Yes, the Blues are back. The NFL is in full swing as well as college football. NASCAR is winding down in point series and our cards are back in the playoffs. At Hot Shots, you get the best food and drink specials to make the games as fun as being there. Looking for a perfect place for lunch? Well, Hot Shots will get you in and back to work fast after having a fantastic lunch. Get caught up on your sports and have great views of the beautiful servers. It's always a party every day at Hot Shots in Arnold and Webster Groves. Hot Shots gives you every reason to hang out and enjoy yourself with golden tea, bags, beer pong, foosball, darts, and all kinds of other games. Hot Shots in Arnold and Webster Groves has the game on 30 large HD TVs and the massive 105-inch screens, so you always have the best view anywhere in the place. Hot Shots in Webster Groves is on Watson at Laclede Station Roads. Hot Shots in Arnold is at 131 Arnold Crossroads Center, close to 55 and Jeffco Roads. Hot Shots in Arnold or Webster Groves, all the games, all the time.
We all know the economy is not what it should be. Jobs are scarce and money is not easy to come by. That is why it is now more important than ever to patronize our locally owned and operated businesses. Hello, I'm Karen Cutis. Keeping St. Louis money in St. Louis is a definite way of helping ensure local employment and making our economy strong. Cutis Funeral Home is such a business. We are locally owned and operated and have proudly served our area since 1910. Cutis Funeral Home employs over 100 St. Louisans, with all funds remaining in our area. Many funeral homes are owned and operated by out-of-town conglomerates, taking money out of our area to support their home offices and salaries. Helping to patronize our area businesses can help keep jobs here in St. Louis. Cutis Funeral Home, part of St. Louis with affordability and dignity since 1910.
Locally owned and operated Cutis Funeral Homes with 3 locations, South City, Afton, and South County.
Hello, this is Joe Cordell of the domestic litigation firm Cordell & Cordell. Tell me if this describes you. You're a man who's worked hard all your life. You have a nice house, a savings, a good retirement. But now there's just one problem. Your wife says she wants out. She says she wants a divorce. Suddenly, everything you've worked so hard for, it's all on the table. Your house, your pension, and most important, your kids. She says she feels terrible about the way things have turned out. She says she wants to be fair. Trust her, she says. May I suggest to you an alternative? Consider trusting instead the law firm Cordell & Cordell. You're facing one of the most pivotal, critical times in your life. It's at times like these that you need a partner you can count on.
Call the domestic litigation firm of Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's attorneys, a partner men can count on. 314-725-0000, 725 all zeros. Offices in St. Louis, St. Charles, Jefferson County, Edwardsville, Belleville, and Union by appointment only.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Fall is the best time of year to golf in the STL. The weather is enjoyable and the courses are ready for you. Hopefully you have figured out those flaws in your game. Making a tee time is as easy as checking out the course of interest. Click, pay, and save $10 for using golfaroundstl.com. Go to one of the many courses that subscribe to golfaroundstl.com on their website. Choose your tee time and enter the code 590. That's 590 and get $10 off your game. It's that simple. Golfaroundstl.com tee times must be scheduled within 7 days of the reservation. Use the 590 code and the discount will be applied at the pro shop when you check in for your round. This offer cannot be used with any other promotion and you must have your reservation at the time of check-in. Any question about the service can be directed to golfer at midwestgolfnetwork.com. Golfaroundstl.com saves you time and money. Try it today.
Dogtown Pizza is the freshest pizza in your local grocer's freezer aisle. All Dogtown Pizza sauce, crust, and cheese are 100% natural, and they use local ingredients from local suppliers. They also offer a full-service fundraising program dedicated to providing you with the best possible experience and achieving the results you desire. For more information, visit dogtownpizza.com. Who bakes the best pizza in St. Louis? You do. Dogtown Pizza, family owned and operated.
The USO of Missouri brings you the Red, Rock, and Blue Benefit Concert Sunday, November 16th at the Pageant. Tickets on sale now while they last to see Scotty McCreery along with Danielle Bradbury, country's newest superstars and winner of Season 10's American Idol and The Voice's Season 4. Together, VIP, general admission, and balcony seats. Call Ticketmaster or the Pageant box office today. The Red, Rock, and Blue Concert to benefit the USO of Missouri with Scotty McCreery and Danielle Bradbury live at the Pageant Theater Sunday, November 16th. Please remove those hats. You're in the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court on 590 The Main.
And we welcome you back in to the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. Kevin Slayton with you on this Monday afternoon, rainy Monday afternoon. Maybe it's time to build an ark. We've been getting when's the last time it didn't rain? Good grief. That's what I mean. Zycan Exteriors, man. You got a roof problem, you better call them because it's not going to get any better as the winter season approaches you. 314-399-8923 here in the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court is the number. We're on talkstl.com online and right here at 590 The Man. I guess the fix is in down in Florida State. Jameis Winston was in receipt of a letter from the university saying that the student conduct code is now a possibility for him as a violation with regard to the alleged rape. So the president of the university and vice president for student affairs informed him he could be charged with as many as 4 violations of the university's code of conduct. The possible punishments range from a written or verbal reprimand to expulsion. Now, is Florida State just whitewashing this? It kind of sounds like it, because when Jimbo Fisher was asked about his level of concern that Winston could miss some games, he said none. There's no concern at all. There hasn't even been a hearing yet. He says, I know the facts of the case. That's why he's so confident. The facts haven't changed in the case. We know the report and know everything out there. There's nothing new out there. We've been through this. So maybe it is just a whitewash and the fix is already in. Who knows? And who knows what's true? This country is based on being innocent until proven guilty, he says. Not guilty until proven innocent. He's getting me confused. I don't want any victims, but there is no victim because there was no crime. There is no evidence. Well, you know what? If he's right, good for him. But I'm amazed that he's so strongly basically telling the university president, hey, buddy, you're not doing anything here.
Kiss my ass.
That's basically what he said to the university president. Well, I'm wondering who's running the show down there in Tallahassee. I already know who is. His name's Jimbo. Man. He says Winston's not getting preferential treatment, and the Florida football players don't get that from the police in Tallahassee. He said, I think it's exactly the opposite. When he was asked to elaborate on that, he said the facts of it, which of course means nothing. Hey, at least, even if it is just a whitewash, at least their university is faking it. Down in Missouri, they don't even fake it. And in Missouri, they have a death, a suicide. They don't even fake like they're trying to find out what happened. We're not going to investigate it. One of our own
I know nothing.
One of our own athletes accuses 2 football players of raping her. She's so despondent, she commits suicide. What did Missouri do before she committed suicide? Well, they basically kicked her off the team, swimming team. Didn't report the accusations as they're required by law. Didn't investigate as they're required by law if they don't turn it over to the authorities. So they did none of that. And they still haven't. So Florida State's just sugarcoating it down there. At least they're sugarcoating it. Pretending they're not ignoring it. And who knows? He may be completely innocent. But I'm just surprised that a coach would be so vehement in defending a player who's about to be examined in a hearing by the university's president, vice president, whoever does the questioning, regarding code of conduct violations, which, by the way, could become violations without raping someone. I'm assuming the code of conduct is a lot broader than a criminal standard of proof. Now, what do you think is going to happen to that president, though, if he actually suspends Winston, let's say, from this Saturday's Notre Dame game? He won't be president much longer. There's a lot of self-survival going on down there. By the way, the team that's deserving to be number 1 is Mississippi State. Now, shockingly, the polls that came out yesterday have them as number 1. They dropped Florida State down. Clearly, I would have dropped Florida State further. They drop them to number 2. Mississippi State is the most deserving number 1 team in recent history. When 3 weeks in a row, you defeat top 10 teams, 1 on the road, 2 at home, you are the deserving number 1 team. Nobody else has played that kind of a schedule.
Absolutely. Hey.
Thank you, Rocky. So Mississippi State, congratulations to you Bulldogs, and they proved it by dismantling Auburn. They just destroyed Auburn. If not for ridiculously stupid decisions by their coach, Dan Mullen. Who fakes a punt when you're up 21-0? Deep in your own
smart man.
No, deep in your own territory. And of course, the punter throws an interception. Then Dak Prescott threw 2 terrible interceptions, and they still pounded Auburn. So congratulations to them. Ole Miss goes to College Station and blows out Texas A&M. They're my second-ranked team. The Mississippi teams are ranked 1 and 2 as far as I'm concerned, and deservedly so. In fact, nobody else is even close to them. Not even close. They're so far ahead of everyone else, it's not even funny. So there are your numbers 1 and 2 teams. And if anyone even thinks of putting Notre Dame up there, please stop. Notre Dame is the worst unbeaten team in the last 50 years. That's a bad team.
You're not that good.
North Carolina put up over 40 on them at South Bend. North Carolina, a team that got beat 70-28 by East Carolina. 70.
And if you need any proof that defense doesn't exist anymore in college football, that TCU Baylor game.
Holy cow.
What a joke.
Every game out there. Notre Dame.
Texas shootout, huh?
Yeah, Notre Dame. You almost have to rank Baylor 3rd now, though, because they beat an unbeaten TCU team that was pretty good.
I wonder how often the over hits these days in NCAA football. You think it's got to be a high percentage.
I don't know what that line was, but I'll bet you it was probably around 70.
It wasn't 100.
But it wasn't over 100. Neither was the Notre Dame game. I'll guarantee you that. I mean, these teams are just destroying. They're obliterating these. And poor Vegas, they don't know what to do. By the way, yesterday, Vegas lost so much money on what happened in the Jets-Denver game. Did you see that story? This is a classic. I happened to be watching that game when it happened. Peyton Manning does virtually nothing after the Broncos go up 24-7. In fact, the Broncos, I think, just ordered him, okay, you're going to set the record at home, so don't even try to score anymore. They just kept handing the ball off, thinking they had the game won. Well, of course, the Jets see blood in the water and come back, and now it's a 7-point game. Denver then gets the ball, kills the clock, has to punt. Jets get it about their own 5-yard line. So you've got about 30 seconds left. What do the Jets do? Of course, they're going to try to win. So Geno Smith throws a pick 6. With 15 seconds left, it covered the spread for Denver. Now, Floyd Mayweather, the boxer, won over $1 million. Vegas sports books took several $1 million blows on that one play yesterday. And it's so bad, in fact, that one of the guys, I'll try to find out who he is, Jay Rude, MGM's vice president of race and sports, race meaning racing, not color of your skin. He says the place went absolutely berserk when it happened. I kicked a hole in the wall. He said, I'll leave it as a reminder of my feelings toward Geno Smith. It was devastating, Aliante's sportsbook director, Mark Nelson, said. Wow. And then later in the day, Arizona's Rashad Johnson picked off Kirk Cousins and returned it for a pick six late in that game to cover that spread.
Final play of that one.
Unbelievable. I promise you, despite those two blows, those sports books won a lot of money yesterday. They always do. They always do. The poor guy at one of the places says, we were in a spot that we would have probably been up $1.5 million after those two games if those interceptions hadn't happened. Instead, we're only up a third of that. So you only won $500,000 in one day. Poor guys. It is pretty odd that it happens in two games on the same day, though. And how about good old Floyd Mayweather? He wins $1.4 million.
He's always gambling and putting his picks on Twitter.
Does he? Well, people maybe should start following him if he won $1.4 million.
he actually usually wins.
Phil Mickelson is a heavy bettor, or was. I don't know if he still is, but he's been known to wager $1 million or $2 million on the Super Bowl. Now, it's funny. We only hear about it when they win. I guarantee you they lose too. They're like everybody else. They just win or lose more.
He literally will put out his ticket after he wins it that has the bet, and then he'll put all of his stacks of cash with him.
Has he ever shown you a losing ticket? Never.
I can't recall one, no.
No, of course not. Well, I can guarantee he's not unbeaten.
Actually, he is unbeaten in the ring, though.
In the ring. Not in the gambling ring. Not in the gambling ring. No one is. Not even the house. But the general rule of thumb in betting circles is that the bookies make about 60% of their gross. So if that's the case, you could figure Floyd Mayweather, unless he's an aberration, to lose about 40%, to lose about 60% of the time. Now, some guys do better, of course, and others do worse. But it's easy to promote that you won $1.4 million. We don't know if you lost $2 million 2 weeks ago. Steve is up next in the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. Hello, Steve. How you doing?
Back to the Cardinals, if I can. Matheny, I just don't get this guy. He does the same things all the time, and he lucks out somehow. But to me, it wasn't the fifth inning they loaded the bases.
The Giants?
Had Lance Lynn up to bat.
I don't remember that happening.
It was the fourth or fifth, I think, wasn't it?
No, Molina.
It was right after.
No, Molina. Well, they had the bases loaded after Gritchick's hit because only one run scored. Yeah.
Yeah.
If that's what you're talking
then,
about.
Lynn was up. I know that.
Yeah.
And there was only one.
Wasn't that after the Molina sack bunt?
That was after the bunt.
So first base was open?
No, they walked Wong intentionally.
Okay, that's right.
So then Gritchick got a hit with 2 strikes. They grooved one to him, but it was to left field on one hop, so the runner at second couldn't score. So the bases were still loaded when Lynn came up. I thought you meant they loaded the bases and Lynn was up. The bases were still loaded.
Now the most you're going to get out of Lynn is maybe an inning or two, and you got all these pitchers down there. You got a chance to bust the game open there.
Couldn't agree more with you.
And he lets Lynn hit.
I couldn't agree more with you.
That.
If you're going to have a quick hook, which he had an inning later, well, why aren't you pinch hitting for him in that situation? Lance Lynn, though he doesn't look like it, is one of the worst hitters among all the pitchers in baseball. He's one of the worst. So the chances of him doing anything were next to nothing. At the very least, have him bunt and put the squeeze on, if indeed he can even bunt. But put the safety squeeze on. You run when the ball's hit, when he makes contact on the bunt. But they don't even try that. And then, of course, Carpenter pops out to end the threat. But clearly, you pinch hit for Lynn there. Obviously, Matheny has no confidence in his own bench to produce anything in that situation. And then you don't bunt. It was a travesty of stupidity.
Yeah, you're saving Lynn to pitch another inning, maybe, or two, maybe, and he's not going to be as good. You got Martinez down there. You got that left-hander down there. You got all them guys sitting around for nothing, I guess. I just don't. He could have busted the game wide open if Tavares would have come home and come up there and hit the home run. You wouldn't have to worry about nothing.
Well, if it just comes up against a base hit.
Yeah.
Then you got Carpenter up with one out instead of two.
I'm not as smart as Matheny, I guess.
No, apparently none of us are. Even though you're exactly right, he does one dumb thing after another and keeps getting away with it. I mean, he's as lucky as LaRouche bag. They both specialize in stupidity, and because their team bails them out, here's what you have.
Yeah. And he was going to Rosenthal no matter what.
Yeah, no matter what. He's going to die with him, and he really did.
Nechek blew through him that eighth inning. Why not just leave him in there? And if he gets in trouble, then you could bring in Rosenthal.
Well, I've always been a believer of that. If you've got a guy that goes out there and has an easy seventh or eighth inning, you leave him in. Leave him until he gets in trouble, if he even gets in trouble. But imagine this. In order to win that game, because of that kind of stupidity, the Cardinals have to get home runs in the last 3 innings. A home run in each inning. When does that happen?
I don't know. Pure luck.
It was pure luck. Pure luck.
Yeah.
But
he's a genius.
But according to the media, they rallied around Molina.
And another thing, Kevin, are you allowed to shove a guy off the base and then tag him out?
Are you talking about Saturday night with Bumgarner?
No, the Kansas City game.
You know what?
The guy stole the base.
Oh,
didn't see
the play.
Guy shoved his leg off the base.
Didn't see the play. I
saw.
I saw.
That was another great umpiring move.
Well, I saw one play where the guy, if you're talking about the same one, where the guy stole the base. I didn't think he pushed him off. He applied the tag and he just kept the glove on the guy's leg. And when the guy came off the bag, he was out.
He was put out. Well, maybe I'm wrong. I thought he was shoving a guy's leg off the base.
Yeah, I think the guy's momentum carried him off the base, but the fielder was smart enough to keep his gloved hand on him.
Okay, well, I saw it different, but I challenged it at least.
But I agree. I can tell you this: the umpiring has been atrocious.
I agree. Well, thanks, Kevin, and keep up the good work, man.
Thank you, Steve. Appreciate the call.
How about Matheny blowing the challenge on the Bumgarner tag, which you just referenced to, when it was actually a clean play? He was clearly out on the play.
It was clearly a clean play.
And then because of that, because if he challenges a clean play, he misses the obvious balk.
Right.
Can't challenge that. Can't raise a fuss there because now you look like an idiot.
Yeah. Well, you challenge. Bumgarner clearly tagged Wong, and so you're out. I mean, had he not tagged him and just bumped him off the baseline,
on first look, it looked like he might have illegally stepped into the baseline before he tagged him. But clearly in the replay, he tags him and he's out, and it was a clean play.
Yeah, you can step into the baseline to tag a guy.
Yeah,
and that's what he did. And then, of course, the great John Jay getting picked off last night. That's another brilliant base running move that gets lost in the shuffle because they won the game. Our good friends at Chuck's Boots have the 2 largest boot stores in the world, and they're both here in our town. One's in Fenton on Gravois. The other's in St. Peter's on Mid-Rivers Mall Drive, just off of Highway 70. Each store has between 40,000 and 50,000 pairs of boots. But what you might not know is they also have women's fashion jeans with all the top brands, Miss Me, Rock Revival, Silver Jean Company. And at Chuck's Boots, they guarantee the lowest prices on women's fashion jeans, and they have thousands of pairs in stock. So that means you'll find your size. You won't have any problem finding your size, and you'll get the lowest price around. Go to the department stores or the jean stores. You have to pick over and try to beg them for your size, and then you pay through the nose. Not at Chuck's Boots. And they have work boots, Western boots, motorcycle boots, uniform boots, hiking boots, all kinds of boots, all the top brands, all the top styles. They have accessories, work jackets, work bibs, work pants, work shirts. Largest selection of motorcycle bags, chaps, jackets, vests, and helmets in our town. Over 10,000 pairs of women's cowboy boots alone. And they have all the exotic kind. I have black alligator boots from Chuck's Boots. They have Western shirts, Western jeans, hats, belts, jewelry. Chuck's Boots, 2 locations. We've got them right here in our town, in Fenton on Gravois, in St. Peter's on Mid-Rivers Mall Drive, just off Highway 70. All right, we'll take a break in the Pabst Blue Ribbon. Gateway Buick, GMC, Kings Court. We'll be back after this.
This is a beer ad for guys who drink beer with their buddies and watch football while drinking beer with their buddies. But this is a beer ad for a different type of beer with a refreshing taste of apple. Red's Apple Ale. You can still drink it while watching football or something a little different, like arm wrestling, because that's what Red's is. A little different and anything but ordinary. Crisp like an apple, brewed like an ale. Red's Apple Ale. Pick different. Red's Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility.
In the sports world, a good offense starts with a good defense. The professionals at Lakeside Roofing believe in this same motto for your roof. Our full-time service department provides the defense to ensure that you get the most out of your roof system. A regular schedule of roof assessment and maintenance will ensure that your roof will hold up to harsh environment, particularly spring wind and hail, as well as the overall aging process. Included in the inspection is a personalized preventive maintenance program specific to your roof system. This defensive strategy can extend the life of your commercial or residential roof for many years. Choose the winning team of professionals at Lakeside Roofing. We're a family-owned business that has built a solid reputation for excellent service from the initial call to the completed job. Call us today at 618-344-2800 or 314-241-5253 or visit us on the web at lakesideroofing.com. That's lakesideroofing.com. Choose experience. Choose Lakeside.
It's time for the back-to-school buyback at Jim Butler Kia.
Oh, too much on your trade-in?
We'll buy it back, and you drive home a new Kia with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty and a low payment. Sign and drive with $0 out of pocket. $198 per month on 2015 Kia Optimas. $256 per month on 2015 Kia Serenos. Big selection, big savings, and it's all at the back-to-school buyback. Only at JimButlerKia.com. The only place to go for your next Kia. Lease is 0 down, 0 security deposit, 0 first payment based on 39 months, 12,000 miles per year. Payments plus TTNL. Ends 9/2/14.
When you were referred to a particular business or organization by a friend, you know that person had a very good experience or the referral would never have happened. And who is the most referred funeral home here in St. Louis? Cutis. I'm Kathy Cutis, and here at Cutis Funeral Homes, we have been doing business with the same families for generations. And when we serve a new family, more often than not, it is because of the information they received from our previous patrons. At Cutis, you will find we are not owned by a large outside conglomerate. We are not governed by the high prices necessary to pay for those out-of-town salaries and offices. Cutis Funeral Homes are locally owned and operated, proudly serving our community for over 100 years, with plans to serve your family in the next generation. Cutis Funeral Home, affordability with dignity since 1910.
Locally owned and operated Cutis Funeral Homes with 3 locations, South City, Afton, and South County.
Are you planning a night out? Maybe you're going down to the game and everyone wants to have a good time. Concerts, weddings, proms, bachelor and bachelorette parties, corporate events, special events of any kind. Start the event off right with class and luxury through Jed Transportation. No matter what the party size, we have the ride for you. Sedans, SUVs, limos, Hummers, and party buses. Jed Transportation wants to get the night started before you even get to your destination. With over 50 years of service, including a professionally licensed staff, Jed Transportation is there to make your night that much more memorable. Call 314-429-2200 or visit jedlimousine.com.
Now, all rise. You're in the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court on 590 The Main.
And we welcome you back in. Kevin Slayton with you in the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. Glad you're along for the ride on 590 The Man. Streaming live at TalkSTL.com. TalkSTL.com. You can just download the free app, and you're there. Real simple. Our lines are open, as always, 399-8923, 399-8923. I don't know if you saw yesterday where the Seahawks losing to the Cowboys. Doug Baldwin, the receiver for the Seahawks, ripped the Seahawks after saying that we better start paying closer attention in meetings rather than thinking things are okay because they're not okay. We can't be playing like this. We've got far too much talent to play like this. But as I said after their first game against the Packers, they don't have a pass rush. And when you lose 2 or 3 of your defensive line starters to free agency, that's what happens. That's the difficulty in maintaining a Super Bowl champion these days. The Seahawks don't have a pass rush. And it showed yesterday. And then Tony Romo is able to scramble around and complete a 3rd and 20 pass to the sidelines where Williams makes a miracle catch just past the chains. That's how the Cowboys won. That was their game-winning drive. It appears they're also vulnerable to the run. DeMarco Murray, of course, he's run against everybody, but he tore them apart. And the offense of Seattle was non-existent yesterday. That was the biggest shocker. The only points the Seahawks scored were given to them by the Cowboys. A blocked punt return for a touchdown, a fumbled punt where the Seahawks had to drive about 18 yards. Then they got a fumble from Romo and got an easy field goal out of it. So there's 17 of Seattle's 23 points given to them. Pretty amazing that their offense sputtered like that. This Dallas defense, I don't know who their coordinator is. I'll have to look it up. He is the coach of the year. I mean, they were horrific last year. And just think the Rams had them down 21-0. George is up. Welcome to the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. George, how are you?
Hey, Kevin, thanks for taking the call. You know, in this world full with insanity, thank goodness at 3 o'clock.
Well, thank you, George. I appreciate it. Oh, we lost him. Give us a call right back, George, if you can. That'll work. 314-399-8923 is the number, as it always is. Look at these averages. If you want to look at if the Cardinals weren't hitting home runs, where would they be in this series? Actually, they probably wouldn't be anywhere against the Dodgers either. You got Matt Carpenter's hitting 333, Jay 471. But then you got Holiday 174, Adams 211, but his 2 home runs are huge. Peralta 211, Molina 238, Wong 176, but he has 2 big home runs. Grichuk 174. He had a home run in the first game. Taveras, who's only batted 5 times, has 2 pinch hits. So Taveras deserves some playing time. The guy's batted 5 times as a pinch hitter. He has a single and a home run. Joe is up. Welcome to the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. Joe, how are you?
I'm doing well, Kevin. You know, whenever I hear somebody in the local media or national media say something stupid, I always think of what would Kevin think. Kevin, I was listening Saturday before on ESPN. They were talking about the game. They were talking about the Missouri-Georgia game. And everybody picked Missouri to win because, you know, the Todd Gurley thing. Although, like you, I'm sure you know, Georgia has other running backs. Missouri, like the Rams, can't stop the run. But one guy said, Kevin, and the other factor, the reason he picked Missouri was they had 2 weeks to prepare, and Gary Pinkel is one of the best coaches in the country.
It blows me away. I mean, you hear these idiots, and you wonder, you scratch your head. The general public knows more than they know. Listen to Harold Reynolds talking about Randall Grichuk as though he were Roberto Clemente. I mean, I wanted to just throw up. I want to throw some at the TV. I was hoping Joe Buck would stick a sock in his mouth. Shut up. This Reynolds has diarrhea of the mouth, first of all, and he knows nothing. Randall Grichuk, give me a break. I don't care what Mike Matheny says about him. I haven't seen the guy throw anybody out, first of all, but I did see him drop a fly ball when he crashed into the wall. So far, I haven't seen him do anything defensively that makes me open my eyes, and I haven't seen him do anything offensively. He's hitting 174. I mean, what's the hoopla around this guy?
No. Well, you know, that Missouri game, Kevin, I mean, to me, you know, to get shut at home like that, and I'll tell you what, I've said this before. I think you've agreed. Even during these last couple of years with the schedule that they've had, wait till next year, and you look at that Western side. You look at Ole Miss and Mississippi State with young coaches, good recruiting classes. I'm telling you that Brett Bielema at Arkansas, if Arkansas was in Missouri's division, they'd be the second best team behind Georgia, and they're last in that division. But you look at Auburn and Alabama, LSU will bounce back, Tennessee's getting better. I'm telling you, Kevin, Gary Pinkel and Mike Alden, they're going to become Kentucky and Vanderbilt. Unless they get some recruiting going on here and get some players down there, they are not going to be able to compete in the SEC next couple of years. There is no way, because I can name about 7 or 8 coaches in that SEC that are better than Pinkel, Kevin. Thanks.
Thank you, Joe. Well, I can too. I mean, I don't think they'll ever be as bad as the Vanderbilt team. I can't see that happening. I don't think that's going to happen. But hey, who knows? Who knows? Could be. I know this. Down at Marshall Wireless Sprint stores, all 16 of them in our area, if you pre-order the iPhone through them, you are eligible for the exclusive iPhone for Life plan, $70 a month for the rest of your life. What? The phone cost must be $5,000. No, that includes the cost of your phone, and it's unlimited everything. $70 a month forever. Infinity. They'll even pay your cancellation fee up to $350. Now, if you have those Verizon or AT&T models that eat data like crazy, like I eat Cheez-Its, you're going to want to go to Marshall Wireless Sprint, pre-order your iPhone, get the exclusive iPhone for Life plan, $70 a month for life, unlimited everything, includes the cost of the phone, and they'll pay your cancellation fee up to $350. You can't beat it. Simple as that. It's that easy. All right. Let's take a quick break. This is the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court on 590 The Man, streaming live at talkstl.com. Download the free app and you can listen online or on your smartphone.
It's been coming for some time. When it's over, so they say it'll rain a sunny day. I know, shining down like water.
Huddle up, team. We need more intensity out there. Nothing gets me fired up like winning awesome tickets to things. And how are we going to win them?
The Coors Light Score the Silver Sheets promotion.
That's right. Just look for specially marked cases of Coors Light, and you can win tickets to the biggest college games and other amazing prizes. Okay, hands in. Legal copy on 3.
No purchase necessary. Ends 11:59 p.m. CT or 12/31/14. Open to legal U.S. residents of 50 U.S. DC 21 plus years of age. For rules, see CoorsLight.com/kickoff. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
Hot Shots in Arnold and now Webster Groves is the place for all the games all the time. Hot Shots in Arnold and Webster Groves is your place for all your NHL action. Yes, the Blues are back. The NFL is in full swing as well as college football. NASCAR is winding down in point series and our Cards are back in the playoffs. At Hot Shots, you get the best food and drink specials to make the games as fun as being there. Looking for a perfect place for lunch? Well, Hot Shots will get you in and back to work fast after having a fantastic lunch. Get caught up on your sports and have great views of the beautiful servers. It's always a party every day at Hot Shots in Arnold and Webster Groves. Hot Shots gives you every reason to hang out and enjoy yourself with golden tea, bags, beer pong, foosball, darts, and all kinds of other games. Hot Shots in Arnold and Webster Groves has the game on 30 large HD TVs and the massive 105-inch screens, so you always have the best view anywhere in the place. Hot Shots in Webster Groves is on Watson at Laclede Station Roads. Hot Shots in Arnold is at 131 Arnold Crossroads Center, close to 55 and Jeffco Roads. Hot Shots in Arnold or Webster Groves, all the games, all the time.
590 KFNS, Wood River, St. Louis. Sports Talk Radio.
We all know the economy is not what it should be. Jobs are scarce and money is not easy to come by. That is why it is now more important than ever to patronize our locally owned and operated businesses. Hello, I'm Karen Cutis. Keeping St. Louis money in St. Louis is a definite way of helping ensure local employment and making our economy strong. Cutis Funeral Home is such a business. We are locally owned and operated and have proudly served our area since 1910. Cutis Funeral Home employs over 100 St. Louisans, with all funds remaining in our area. Many funeral homes are owned and operated by out-of-town conglomerates, taking money out of our area to support their home offices and salaries. Helping to patronize our area businesses can help keep jobs here in St. Louis. Cutest Funeral Home, part of St. Louis with affordability and dignity since 1910.
Locally owned and operated Cutest Funeral Homes with 3 locations, South City, Afton, and South County.
Hello, this is Joe Cordell of the domestic litigation firm Cordell & Cordell. Tell me if this describes you. You're a man who's worked hard all your life. You have a nice house, a savings, a good retirement. But now there's just one problem. Your wife says she wants out. She says she wants a divorce. Suddenly, everything you've worked so hard for, it's all on the table. Your house, your pension, and most important, your kids. She says she feels terrible about the way things have turned out. She says she wants to be fair. Trust her, she says. May I suggest to you an alternative? Consider trusting instead the law firm Cordell & Cordell. You're facing one of the most pivotal, critical times in your life. It's at times like these that you need a partner you can count on.
Call the domestic litigation firm of Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's attorneys, a partner men can count on. 314-725-0000, 725 all zeros. Offices in St. Louis, St. Charles, Jefferson County, Edwardsville, Belleville, and Union by appointment only.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Sit up straight. You are in the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court on 590 The Main.
And we welcome you back into the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. Kevin Slayton with you on a rainy Monday afternoon on 590 The Man and streaming live at talkstl.com. Talkstl.com. Just download the free app. You can take us with you anywhere. The latest word on Molina is that he did make the Cardinals charter flight to San Francisco. So he's no word on whether he'll be playing or not. Matheny has a news conference later on today, so I would assume there'll be an update then. Though I doubt that they'll know because the game's not until tomorrow afternoon. It is a 3 o'clock start, although I keep seeing all kinds of different times. But 3 o'clock start. Fox was promoting last night that they're on the air at 1:30, 2:30 Eastern time, 1:30 our time. I'm assuming there's a long pregame show. It's Fox Sports 1. It's not the mothership, so you can use their programming to devote it to the sports. And what bigger games than the baseball playoffs right now? Rams play here tonight. It's a Monday night affair, so it should be a big social event, although I doubt that anyone thinks the Rams are going to do much. By the way, Game 3 of the Royals series is rained out. They've postponed Game 3 tonight. So Game 3 of the Royals series won't be played until tomorrow. They were going to play Game 4 tomorrow night anyway, but Game 3 has been rained out in Kansas City, so they're getting it like we got it most of today. They must still be getting it.
I wonder what that will do to the NLCS schedule now, too, with the 2 games being every night.
Well, it's going to alter it, but tomorrow it'll remain the same because they were both scheduled to play tomorrow anyway. But Wednesday now it'll be a difference. The Cardinals will either play afternoon or evening. I'm guessing evening on Wednesday. All right, 399-8923 is our number, and first up is Bill. Hello, Bill. Welcome to the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. How are you, Bill?
Kevin.
Go right ahead.
Hello?
Yep, go right ahead.
Kevin, I've lived in St. Louis my whole life. There's my family here. I have to tell you that I'm embarrassed that I live in this town. What has transpired over the last couple of weeks? I would just like your opinion, basically, of this whole Ferguson situation and how long you think this is going to continue, and what do you think is going to become about? What's going to be the long-term damage to St. Louis? And quite frankly, where's the light at the end of the tunnel?
Well, first of all, what are you embarrassed about? The demonstrators?
Pardon me?
What are you embarrassed? You said you were embarrassed. What are you embarrassed about? The demonstrators?
Yes, I am. I'm embarrassed about how the law enforcement is handling this situation.
What is law enforcement doing that's wrong?
So you think all this protesting and all this?
I asked you a question. What do you think law enforcement? What do you think law enforcement is doing wrong? You still there? Of course not. What a dweeb. You call up, you make a statement that you're embarrassed by law enforcement. I ask you, what is law enforcement doing that's wrong? And apparently you don't know. Because if you were so passionate about it, you could have told us what you think they're doing wrong. But you really don't have anything to say. Yeah, I'm embarrassed by a city that allows people to demonstrate and chant that they want a police officer dead. I'm embarrassed by those people. They should have been arrested. That's not freedom of assembly or peaceful assembly. That's inciting violence. There's a difference. You want to march peacefully, go right ahead. You want to incite violence, now we're talking a different story. So yeah, I'm embarrassed by those people, but not by the law enforcement. What have they done wrong? But this guy doesn't think they did anything wrong either because he's so embarrassed, but yet he couldn't name one thing. And his name wasn't Bill, it was Dumbass Dave. Sam is up next. Welcome, Sam. How are you? Hello, Sam.
Carpe diem, Kevin.
Carpe diem, Kevin. To you.
You know, I would say law enforcement's doing wrong is they're being too easy on the protesters.
Yeah, that's kind of my feeling too. Especially these people that were chanting they wanted the police officer dead. Those kind of people need to be in jail.
Yeah. The Denver game you were talking about yesterday, I didn't have $1 million on it. I had $100 on it, and I jumped through the roof whenever they got that pick six.
That was amazing, wasn't it? Now, there were two plays. There were a number of plays that worked there if you study those things, and obviously it covered the game spread, but it also covered the second half spread with regard to Denver. So it covered a whole bunch of things, and I imagine Vegas took a hit, a major hit, according to the bookmakers out there.
Yeah, and that was only the second time this year, as good of an offense as they have there. That's been only the second time this year they've covered the spread.
Well, that's because if it's anything like yesterday, Denver just laid down in the second half after they scored a touchdown with 8 minutes left in the third quarter and almost didn't even get a first down again until late on their final drive. They didn't score again.
No.
It was unbelievable how they just quit playing. And I thought, well, maybe they're just trying to wait for Manning to break this record of Brett Favre at home because they play home next week, but they still could have tried to score at least one more time because he wouldn't have broken the record.
Yeah, John Fox has done every game that they've been up. They quit playing football about halfway through the third quarter, just like they did yesterday.
Yeah, they act like they've got it wrapped up, but that's never the case.
You know, they quit letting Peyton Manning play his game. They just start handing the ball straight off to try to kill the clock.
All these teams in college and the pros love to run the ball up the middle. They just love it. Love it. They can't get enough of it. There's such a lack of creativity and imagination in football coaches at both pro and college level. It's not even funny. So run it up the middle.
Yeah. Hey, Kevin, I didn't get a chance to call last Friday, but did you see the football game last Thursday night with J.J. Watt going crazy?
Yeah, he had a great game.
And, you know, all the media in St. Louis wanted to compare Robert Quinn to him and the Rams defensive line as being so great. I mean, there is no comparison.
Well, people in St. Louis thought the Rams had a great defense coming into the season, and I said, no, they don't. I don't know where anybody's getting that from. They have one elite player, and Robert Quinn is that elite player, and he is an elite player based on his year that he had last year. No question he's an elite player. He's not playing like it this year. That's the difference. One guy in Houston is elite, and he's playing like it again. The other guy here gets his contract, and he's not playing like an elite player anymore. So I don't know what the comparison is because there is no comparison right now. And Watt moves around on the defensive line. He doesn't just play defensive end or just play defensive tackle. He plays a combination of the two. All right, Sam, thank you. We appreciate the call.
Hey, Kevin, one more thing.
All right, hurry up.
Hey, I actually heard Channel 2 sports guys say last night they showed a replay of John Jay's, dropping the ball and saying how great of a defensive play it was.
When you drop the ball, it's a great defensive play?
Yeah.
Well, when you listen to local people in the media talk about anything in sports, understand you're talking to basically a cast of illiterates. There are a couple of exceptions, but basically in the media, you're talking about a cast of illiterates. They wouldn't know a great defensive play if they saw one. When you drop the ball, it's not a great defensive play.
Yeah, and then, I know he's on his last leg, but the Cardinals have Brzezinski sitting on the bench. There's no way that he could do worse than what Cruz did last night.
I would agree with that. After what you saw last night, there's no reason for Cruz to play anymore unless Madison Bumgarner is pitching, because I doubt that Brzezinski will have any success hitting him. But clearly, Brzezinski can't do any worse.
When Cruz was batting, he looked like Uri taking swings. And then when he was catching, he looked like Uri trying to block the ball, or not even trying to block the ball.
No, he didn't try to block the ball. There was basic fundamentals that he lacked on that play. So, all right, Sam, thank you. Appreciate the call. 314-399-8923, 399-8923 if you want to jump in. So the word on Molina is nobody knows anything, but he did make the trip. So they haven't ruled him out yet. I imagine that will be a decision that will be made tomorrow, very close to game time. Can't imagine that they'll make a decision before that. He's going to have to take some swings, if he can take swings, before they know whether he can play or not. I wouldn't be surprised if he plays that the Giants would try to steal on him. They're going to test him real fast if he plays, I would think. That's what a smart manager would do. But we're not dealing with very many smart managers in these playoffs. If you haven't heard, the game in Kansas City tonight, game 3 of their series, rained out. I guess that means we're going to get it more here. Good grief. We're already building our ark. We better hurry up in between rainstorms to build some more. Michael's up next. Welcome, Michael. How are you today?
Good, King. How are you, sir?
Doing great.
Good. Hey, talking about this protest thing, that guy couldn't give you an example of what he was embarrassed about. I am embarrassed, not for the police officers that are out there doing their jobs, or lack thereof, I guess. It's because they're getting the direction from above, telling them what to do. I saw a video the other day that it made my... There were a group of protesters, and they were nose to nose with these cops, shining the flashlight directly into the cops' eyes, saying, yeah, you think it's funny to shine the flashlight in my eyes all day, now I'm going to shine it in yours. And they were calling them all kinds of names that I won't say on the radio, flipping them off, telling them that they were going to come into their neighborhood, tear all their stuff up, kill their families. And these cops had to sit there, and that kind of what it reminded me of is when a dog gets into the trash and you come home and the dog puts its tail between its legs and just kind of looks away and refuses to make eye contact. That's what every single one of these cops were doing, and it made me sick, knowing that it's not because that's the action that they want to take, it's because they've been told that's how to handle it. Well, and they wonder why these hooligans are out there on the street doing this crap. Well, when you refuse to take any action and give recourse and consequences for those actions, all you're going to breed is stupidity out there. You do it, you get away with it, you're going to keep doing it, and the droves are going to come out, and they're going to add to it.
I guarantee you, if I did that, I'd be in jail. And it's admirable. Absolutely. It's admirable restraint on the part of the cops, because I don't think I'd restrain myself if they were doing that to me. But at some point, you don't put up with that. And this is all coming from Nixon and that idiot that he put in charge from the Highway Patrol. I've long since forgotten who he is. But the other culprit in all of this is the local media, the television stations. If you quit showing these nitwits out there chanting to kill somebody, then they'd go away. But you have to keep showing it every day as if it's news. It isn't news, by the way. It's not news. It's been a long time since this incident took place, and we're awaiting the outcome of the grand jury. Whether they've heard all of the testimony or whether it's all been presented yet or not, nobody knows for sure. And when it does, and when there is an indictment or there isn't an indictment, then we'll all know. Then that becomes news. But them protesting is not news. Them running around chanting for a cop to be killed is not news. In fact, it's against the law. Exactly. So until these imbeciles, Nixon and his henchman, the guy from the Highway Patrol, understand that.
Ron Johnson.
We're going to continue to have this kind of crap going on. That's the embarrassing part, is that these people can chant whatever they want, incite violence, try to incite a riot because that's what they want to do, and yet nobody's doing anything to stop it. That's the embarrassing part.
It's truly embarrassing, and I really feel for the officers that are out there that are happen to use the self-restraint, because I know I couldn't do it. And
no, I couldn't either.
It scares the hell out of me. It scares the living hell out of me if Darren Wilson is not charged, to know what this city is going to go through. And on the flip side of that, I sure as hell hope that they don't indict this guy just based on the fact that they don't want a complete mess on their hands, even more than they have now. So they do it just to appease the community and attempt to avoid the insanity that would follow it.
Well, remember, there's still the federal government, and as long as Holder is still temporarily in office, he'll try to push for a federal indictment. I'll guarantee you, no matter what happens in St. Louis County.
All we can do is pray for him, Kevin, and I guess
you pray for the right result.
That,
whatever the facts of this case are, you pray for the right result. If nothing was done incorrectly on the part of the officer, then you pray for that to be the case and no indictment. If he clearly killed an innocent man for no reason, then you pray for an indictment.
Exactly.
All right, appreciate it.
Thanks for letting me speak your mind, Kevin. Have a good day, sir.
You bet. Thank you for the call. We appreciate it. 314-399-8923. 399-8923. Yeah, the embarrassing part are those people that I saw chanting for the officer to be dead. That was outside of Ballpark Village. So that's the city cops. I guess their chief has developed a case of spineless-itis as well. Arrest him. Guarantee. If the John Q. Citizen was out there doing, if I were out there doing, if I was standing face to face with a cop telling him off, calling him names, guarantee I'd be arrested. Guarantee it. There's any question.
I've been threatened to be arrested just for asking a simple question.
Right.
Right? I mean, come on.
It's
threatened.
Yeah, this is absurd, the level of political correctness going on here. We can thank Nixon for that and that imbecile Ron Johnson, who'd rather watch people's businesses be destroyed by thieves and thugs than actually carry out the law.
Nixon was on the sideline of the Mizzou game. He had a whole protection staff with him. I think he drives around in a bulletproof vehicle too.
What an absolute loser. That guy has embarrassed this state beyond belief. Unconscionable, this clown. On the sidelines, well, maybe there's their bad luck charm. Maybe Pinkel ought to say, hey, we don't need your butt down here anymore. We can't even score a point when you show up. Jerry is up next. Hello, Jerry. How are you?
Kevin?
Yes.
Question about Abner Doubleday. I picked up a book, and it says that he really didn't invent baseball. A guy by the name of Caldwell invented it. Do you know anything about anything like that?
No, I don't. I'm sure the factual history giving credit to Abner Doubleday has some merit, but as far as whether or not he actually invented the game himself, we can only go by what historians from the time said, because none of us were there. That's for sure.
This guy established the foul lines and 9 innings and everything.
Don't know.
Doubleday was, his credit was based on a letter after the Civil War that he made the rules.
Who knows?
Later on, historians determined this.
Are you trying to settle a bet? Is that why you're concerned about it?
No, it just seemed curious because it was just out of the clear blue sky. This guy's named Cartwright.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
You never heard anything like that, Kevin?
No, never have.
Good enough. Talk to you.
All right, thanks. I don't know if that's good enough. That just means I haven't heard it. That certainly isn't the definitive answer. I haven't heard it. Hey, our good friends at Window World, 314-993-1800. I want you to know that phone call will get you a free in-home inspection of your windows. Now, these are the original $189 window guys, the same guys that were just voted number one by J.D. Power and Associates in that industry for the second year running, and that doesn't happen in that industry. Same guys that have an A+ from the Better Business Bureau and Angie's List on their resume as well. The same guys that lead the industry over 1 million windows sold nationwide 5 years running. The same guys, Window World, that will offer you any size white vinyl double-hung windows for just $189, who've improved the thermal efficiency and the look of over 40,000 homes in our area. The same guys, Window World, that offer you a lifetime warranty covering all parts, glass breakage, and labor. The only way they can do that is by using double-strength glass, but they use double-strength glass. So strong that I stood on those windows on the showroom floor, couldn't crack them, crease them, dent them, break them, damage them in any way. The same guys who will give you 12 months free financing with approved credit, same as cash. That's Window World. 314-993-1800. Free in-home estimate awaits you. 314-993-1800. Give them a call before the rains come again. All right, we're coming right back on the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court right after this.
Divorce is a serious thing. To the extent that you can save your marriage, you should. No one knows that better than the attorneys at Cordell & Cordell.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
As many of you know, we represent men in domestic relations cases. And most of our clients are captive to a process they didn't choose. If they could have, they would have saved their marriage. But their wives told them they want out. Suddenly at issue are the assets they've been a lifetime accumulating. What's more important, their role in their children's lives. If you're confronted with a marriage you can't save, we hope that you'll consider Cordell & Cordell.
The attorneys at Cordell & Cordell work to help men maximize their role in their children's lives, which includes protecting men's financial means to do so. Call the domestic litigation firm of Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's attorneys, a partner men can count on. 314-725-0000, 725 all zeros. Office is in St. Louis, St. Charles, Jefferson County, Edwardsville, Belleville, and Union by appointment only.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
In the sports world, a good offense starts with a good defense. The professionals at Lakeside Roofing believe in this same motto for your roof. Our full-time service department provides the defense to ensure that you get the most out of your roof system. A regular schedule of roof assessment and maintenance will ensure that your roof will hold up to harsh environment, particularly spring wind and hail, as well as the overall aging process. Included in the inspection is a personalized preventive maintenance program specific to your roof system. This defensive strategy can extend the life of your commercial or residential roof for many years. Choose the winning team of professionals at Lakeside Roofing. We're a family-owned business that has built a solid reputation for excellent service from the initial call to the completed job. Call us today at 618-344-2800 or 314-241-5253. Or visit us on the web at lakesideroofing.com. That's lakesideroofing.com. Choose experience. Choose Lakeside.
This is a beer ad for guys who like drinking beer with their buddies and watching football while drinking beer with their buddies at a bar while eating fried food and high-fiving. Ever high-five while eating fried food? We call it high-friving. Buddies and beer, football and fried food. But this is a beer ad for a different type of beer with a refreshing taste of apple. It's called Red's Apple Ale. You can still drink it with your buddies while watching football or drink it while doing something a little different, like watching rugby or professional arm wrestling. Or if you're feeling really crazy, get some Red's Apple Ale and 2 TVs and watch rugby and arm wrestling at the same time. Because that's exactly what Red's is. A little different and anything but ordinary. Crisp like an apple, brewed like an ale. Red's Apple Ale. Pick different. Red's Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility.
Hello, gorgeous. Bare Minerals just won its 9th Glammy Award for Best Prestige Foundation. And to celebrate, we're offering risk-free trials of Bare Minerals makeup to all women nationwide. That's right, every woman who calls right now can get a full-size, risk-free trial of Bare Minerals makeup, plus a free 5-piece makeup set. For yours, call 1-800-605-9625. This is an exclusive radio-only offer you don't want to miss. Bare Minerals Foundation gives you flawlessly beautiful coverage with a no-makeup feel, and it's clinically proven to promote clearer, healthier-looking skin. No wonder it's won 9 Glammys in a row, and now you can try Bare Minerals makeup for yourself. Call now to find out how you can participate in our nationwide risk-free trial and join the millions who've already tried Bare Minerals makeup and fallen in love with their skin again. Plus, we'll send you a free 5-piece makeup set, our gift to you. Hurry, don't miss this exclusive radio-only offer. 1-800-605-9625. 1-800-605-9625.
I'm Kathy Cutis, part of the 4th generation of the Tom Cutis family. The Cutis family is here to personally guarantee that when the time arrives for funeral arrangements, No one will be pressured to make decisions that would not fit your family needs. Our trained, licensed funeral directors will answer your questions and you make the decisions. If you feel you are in a situation that does not give you the time to decide what is best for your family, you are in the wrong place. Contact Cutest Funeral Homes, affordability with dignity for over 100 years.
This Saturday, October 18th and Sunday the 19th, come dream and look around the giant flea market while finding your treasures at the Belclaire Expo Center, 200 South Bell East in Belleville. The best flea market anywhere. You name the item and it's probably there. So come find it, whatever it might be, at the Belclaire Expo Center this weekend. This is a can't miss event at the Belclaire Expo Center this Saturday and Sunday. Treasures await you.
This is the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court on 590 The Man.
We welcome you back into the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court on 590 The Man, streaming live at TalkSTL.com. TalkSTL.com is our online presence. So go there, download the free app in your car, and you can take us anywhere you want. Hey, the Rams are at home for Monday Night Football. 49ers in town. And 590 and 1380 have the Rams tailgate party going on right now. It started at 4 o'clock. $3 beers. There's a DJ. And it goes until 7:30 in the north lot of the Dome. How about that? There's food there. All kinds of things going on. Some of the sponsors for the tailgate party: MLM Law Group, Paul Cerami, Kia Ford, Max Muscle, Two Girls, Four Wheels, Mastermind Vodka, It Works, IT Works, I guess that means. Can't imagine the names. It Works, IT Works. That's all going on right now down by the Dome in the parking lot north of the Dome. They'll be under the giant tent, so go see them and enjoy food, $3 beers. Don't pay those prices in the Dome. Go to the 590 1380 Rams tailgate party going on right now until 7:30 in the lot north of the Dome. It's the north lot. Can't miss it. All right. 399-8923 is our number if you want to weigh in on any of the topics we've discussed. Of course, the Cardinals, Matheny, Bochy. The Rams play the 49ers tonight. Missouri's debacle on Saturday. Big win for the Blues over Calgary Saturday night. They don't play until Thursday when they play in L.A. against the Kings. Mississippi State, the number one team in the country, and deservedly so. The big money change out in Vegas on Geno Smith's pick six. And Doug Baldwin of the Seahawks ripping the Seahawks after their performance and their 3-2 start. Hey, folks, if you're not going to the Rams game, what better way to enjoy the game than Stumpy's House of Barbecue? 620 Jungerman Road in St. Peters. 636-441-7222. 441-7222. You can dine in. You can carry out. Get a carry out. You can get it delivered to you. But everything at Stumpy's House of Barbecue is hickory smoked and slow cooked. Grab a bunch of those smoked chicken wings, Stumpy's skin, Stumpy's nachos, their fried pickles, fried green beans, or just a big sampler platter. They've got great salads at Stumpy's House of Barbecue, great barbecue sandwiches, and you might want to try their specialty, that sandwich of tender pulled pork or chicken, smothered in the famous Stumpy's original barbecue sauce, and topped with the special coleslaw. I'm getting hungry just thinking about it right now. You can buy barbecue by the pound at Stumpy's for your big tailgate party tonight for the Rams Monday Nighter. You can buy ribs by the half slab or full slab, chicken by the whole chicken or half chicken, ice cold beer, all kinds of barbecue plates for lunch or dinner. They're all served with garlic bread and your choice of any two of the following: fries, coleslaw, fried corn cobettes, green beans, potato salad or Stumpy's beans. They even have cornbread, cheese fries, sweet potato fries, and applesauce. It's all there for you at Stumpy's House of Barbecue in St. Peters. Great barbecue for your football needs. Monday Night Football. 620 Jungerman Road in St. Peter, 636-441-7222. All right, Jim is up next on the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. How are you, Jim?
I'm fine, Kevin. How are you today?
We're doing well.
Two things real quick, Kevin. Number one is this. You know that guy that called that was all distressed about the protesters? He said his name was Phil, I think.
He said his name was Bill, but I think it was Dumbass Dave.
You know who that is? That's that nut Dave that used to call you all the time.
That's what I mean. It's Dumbass Dave. I knew who it was. That's what I said at the time. I said, this is just Dumbass Dave.
But anyway, my two quick comments to this. I couldn't agree with you more that if
Molina can't play. Krasinski's got to be the catcher. And I agree with you again, too. Martinez needs to be the closer. I'm telling you, I don't trust Rosenthal as far as I can throw him.
Well, no, you'd be silly to trust Rosenthal. I mean, I think he's proven that he can't be trusted in that role. Now, you probably should have started working Martinez in that role later in the season, but sometimes you just got to make a change.
He can't get anybody out, Kevin. He throws a fastball that doesn't move, or he throws a breaking ball. He can't get over the plate. I mean,
he can't get anything over the plate.
They've gotten as far as they have with him.
He can't get anything over the plate. What did he throw? 30 pitches in that inning? That was ridiculous.
He threw 28 pitches last night in that inning.
Yeah, I don't trust him, but Matheny's one who
and look how many
makes
times
that decision.
We've seen Neshek pitch the eighth, and he's thrown 6 pitches or to 8 pitches, and Matheny says, "Okay, that's enough. We got to go to Rosenthal."
If Neshek,
it's ridiculous. Thanks for taking my call.
All right, Jim. Thank you. If Neshek goes out there and gets 1, 2, 3, 8 with relative ease, he should be pitching the start the 9th inning. If he gets in trouble, change it up. But these managers, I think they just get off on how many pitching changes they can make. They really do. I mean, it's their highlight of their life. If I don't make pitching changes several times, people will think I'm not even here. I've got to make my presence known. I'm the manager. That all started with the mega egomaniac of La Russa. And then other managers followed suit. It's just an egomaniac thing. I got to change pitchers all the time.
You are a filthy whore.
The bullpens are so important. How about a starting pitcher that can go 8 innings? Isn't that important? Nope, because at the first sign of trouble, he's out of there. Now, Wainwright had nothing on Saturday night. Matheny refused to take him out. I think it was selfish on the part of Adam Wainwright to start that game. He knew he couldn't pitch. Matheny knew he couldn't pitch, and it shows you that Matheny is not the leader that everybody portrays him to be. He likes being buddy-buddy with his players. And if he doesn't like it, by the way, you're a goner. David Freese, Oscar Taveras, Peter Borges. Matheny doesn't like you. It's adios, amigo. There isn't much doubt about that. Ed is up next on the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. Hello, Ed. How are you?
How you doing today, sir?
Doing well.
First of all, I just want to let you know I want to thank you very much. I was the one that won the hockey tickets last week, and I took my daughter and we went Saturday night. They're fantastic. Saw a good game, so I want to thank you very much for that.
Super. We thank the Blues for providing those tickets. So good for you. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Ed.
Thanks. I was wanting to see if you caught that last night. I think it was around the 9th inning or something. The announcer was for the game was saying, "Oh, this was a terrific, fabulous game." Sorry, all I seen was botched plays, stupid manager moves, errors, running to the wrong base, picked off. I don't think it was a fantastic. It might have been a somewhat exciting game, but I don't think it was a fantastic game.
It was a terrible game, but it was exciting because of the drama in the end. It is very similar to Game 6 of the World Series in 2011. People forget the first 6 innings of that game were some of the sloppiest baseball you've ever seen. Michael Young's there, David Freese, ball hitting him in the head. I mean, it was one of the worst games from a fundamental baseball standpoint you've ever seen. All of a sudden, it got exciting because the Cardinals started to come back. And then in the 9th inning, of course, the 10th inning, the 11th inning, and so on. Then it was one of the most dramatic World Series games ever because so much was at stake. Elimination was at stake. In this game last night, a lot was at stake for the Cardinals for sure. And they were able to come back, and then the Giants came back. But you're right, it was nothing but sloppy baseball and terrible managing.
Well, I thought both managers made some unbelievable.
So did I.
moves.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, how do you end up throwing right-handers out of your bullpen against Taveras and Adams? How does that happen if you're such a good manager, Bochy, when you've got a left-hander sitting out there who's nastier than hell, that Javier Lopez?
Absolutely, yeah. That was just beyond a stupid call. So, all right, well, Kevin, like I said, the main thing I want to call is thank you very much for giving me the opportunity.
You bet.
Tickets. We had a great. And I'll always listen to you and keep up the good work, buddy.
Thank you, Ed. Appreciate the call. Glad you had fun. And again, we thank the Blues. Think about this. Not only did Bochy have a left-hander to face a right-hander facing Taveras, but Carpenter was up next and Jay after that. So why are you allowing a right-hander to pitch to Taveras? That never made any sense. It was insane. Ryan's up next in the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. Hello, Ryan. How are you? Ryan, are you there?
Yeah, Kevin, sorry, it's tough to hear this.
That's okay. Go right ahead.
Hey, obviously, I would touch on what you guys were just talking about. The game didn't impress me much, but I will tell you, I want to tell you a little story. My son had a baseball tournament in Kansas City this weekend, 13U, and those kids could actually teach these pros something at times, and believe it or not, so could the managers when it comes down to some of the fundamentals that the pros can lose. One of the games up there, Kevin, 13U boys, they played a 14-inning game that ended 3-2.
And keep in mind this, at the Little League level, the managers do have some control over the players. At the Major League level, they don't. If the players all get pissed at the manager's more than likely going to be gone. So there's politics involved as well. But unfortunately, you've got two managers in this game, in this series, who shouldn't be worried about job security because their teams win. Not that they have much to do with it, but the idiocracy of the moves they make or don't make is simply laughable. I was mortified to watch this right-hander pitch to Tavares. I couldn't believe I was watching it. And then another right-hander pitching to Adams. It was just the stupidity of it is just, but you don't hear the Reynoldses or the Verducci's talking about that. They're too busy giving you stupid statistics. I really don't care what a guy hits it at 9 o'clock at night in road games in the playoffs. You know, I mean, that kind of nonsense is leave it out of it. That's what Verducci specializes in.
Well, and I don't pretend to know the Giants roster. Do they have multiple left-handers in their bullpen?
They had Javier Lopez just sitting there waiting. They finally brought him in later, and he was nasty as could be. I long for the days of Tim McCarver to make that cogent analysis, but he's not there anymore.
Well, I still think the Cardinals have a chance to win, but I'm going to think that they have to probably win 2 out of 3 out in San Francisco if they're going to do anything.
I think that's probably true. Whoever wins 2 out of 3 in San Francisco will more than likely win this series. That's certainly not a stretch to say that. This thing is in the favor of the Giants because they've got Bumgarner going in one of those games. So they've just got to split the other 2. And they've got Vogelsong going tomorrow afternoon, and he's been a dominant postseason pitcher, 4-0 with an earned run average under 2.
Yeah, they got their work cut out for them, no doubt. Well, Kevin, I'm actually heading down to the football game tonight. Hopefully you have a good night as well, sir.
I appreciate it, Ryan. Stop by the 590-1380 tailgate party. It's in the north lot by the Dome, north of the Dome, because you get food, beer for $3. It's a fantastic deal. So shoot on down there.
Sounds good to me. Do they sell that Pabst Blue Ribbon down there?
I don't know what kind of beer they're selling, but I would imagine $3 beer. You can get it down there only at that north parking lot at the 590-1380 party. There you go. I'm going to have an ice cold PBR now. He wetted my whistle. Ice cold PBR, the best tasting beer in the world. Now people say, well, how can you say that? Well, you see, it's not just my opinion. I love to back it up. And here are the facts. International beer tasting competitions all throughout the world with blind taste testing panels consistently give Pabst Blue Ribbon the gold medal, silver medal, and bronze medal. And those blind taste testing panels are made up of the general public and brewmasters. That's why I can say that Pabst Blue Ribbon is the best tasting beer in the world. I happen to agree because I love it. And you know what? We all drank it in college because it cost the least. But now that you find out it's also the best tasting beer and still costs the least, it's a no-brainer. So I did what I ask everybody else to do. Just put the beer down of your choice for 2 weeks, whatever beer it is. With an open mind, try Pabst Blue Ribbon for a couple of weeks. See if you don't come to the same conclusion. And I guarantee that over those 2 weeks, I'll put more money in your wallet. It's the American original since 1844, the original red, white, and blue, and it's the only beer that has an award-winning ribbon as its label. That's confidence, born of results. The Pabst Blue Ribbon folks are not just here in the gateway to the West. They're all throughout the world. Pabst Blue Ribbon. Let's take a break. This is the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court on 590 The Man and streaming live at talkstl.com.
This is Dr. Eddie Weller
and Lisa Jenkins,
host of Getting Weller. Join us Saturday at noon on AM 590 as we help you jump life's hurdles. Remember, life is not about being better. It's about getting Weller.
Let me ask you a question. Are you getting enough? I bet you'd love more, right? Well, AdamandEve.com wants to give you more with 10 free gifts. First, you'll get a sexy surprise for her. Second, a specially selected toy for him. And third, a little something we know you'll both enjoy. Plus, you'll get 6 full-length adult movies on DVD. And number 10, free shipping on your entire order. So what do you have to do to get your 10 free gifts? It's not hard. Just go to AdamandEve.com and select any one item. It could be an adventurous new toy, sexy piece of lingerie, or anything you desire. Just enter offer code FREE68 at checkout, and you'll get all 10 free gifts. Go check out AdamandEve.com today. Select one item and get 10 free gifts, including free shipping, when you enter offer code FREE68. That's FREE 68 at AdamandEve.com.
It's time for the back-to-school buyback at Jim Butler Kia.
Oh, too much on your trade-in?
We'll buy it back, and you drive home a new Kia with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty and a low payment. Sign and drive with $0 out of pocket. $198 per month on 2015 Kia Optimus. $256 per month on 2015 Kia Serenos. Big selection, big savings, and it's all at the back-to-school buyback. Only at JimButlerKia.com. The only place to go for your next Kia. Lease is 0 down, 0 security deposit, 0 first payment based on 39 months, 12,000 miles per year. Payments plus TTNL. Ends 9/2/14.
St. Louis is all about sports, and locally owned and operated Culpepper's Grill and Bar is the best place to watch our sports teams. In addition to great food and fabulous drink specials, Culpepper's is hosting free weekly football pools for all Rams and Mizzou football games. For the Rams, come in and put your business card on the board and claim your square to win Culpepper's gift cards at the end of every quarter. For you Mizzou fans, just ask the bartender to be entered in the pool ahead of each week's game. But that's not all. Culpepper's wants to make winners out of Cardinals fans. Get all your friends together to watch all the postseason games at Culpepper's, because each location picks a gift card winner every time the Cardinals score. Want to know more? Follow Culpepper's on Facebook for the latest details, updates on the football pools, and to see winners like yourself having fun. This season, be a fan of Culpepper's.
Watch the Cardinals in the playoffs at Culpepper's and enter for a chance to win Culpepper's gift cards every time they score. Plus, claim your square for this week's Rams football pool.
You will respect the authority. This is the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court on 590 The Man.
Boy, Owen always likes to play that secret recording he made of me playing the guitar at home. Just messing around. Maybe I ought to turn that into a song, try to sell it. You could call it something like Classical Gas. But, you know, I wonder if maybe I ought to get serious. It's not bad just messing around like that. Not bad for a guy messing around.
You can start doing like live concerts.
Yeah, I could do that.
Instead of the air guitar concert that you blessed our ears with the other day.
This is the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. Kevin Slayton with you. Hey, our good friends at Gateway Buick GMC out in Hazelwood, where they've always been, 270 McDonald Boulevard, will guarantee you credit approval. Now, that's huge because everybody's had a hit on their credit score from the economy the way it's been the last few years. But Gateway Buick GMC understands that, so they guarantee you credit approval. And listen to the deals. $12,000 off on LaCrosses, all remaining 2014 models. $12,000 off the Enclaves that are remaining. $7,000 off the Encores, the 2014 models. Over 200 used vehicles in stock. And by the way, coming up this Saturday, their first annual car show on the 18th. A canned food drive, a 50-50 drawing to benefit backstoppers. And there'll be food there for all the customers that come on over to Gateway Buick GMC, 270 McDonald Boulevard this Saturday for the car show. Gateway Buick GMC, we are professional grade. All right, George is up first. Welcome, George. How are you?
Yeah, Kevin, how you doing?
We're doing well.
Listen, you're the only voice of reason lately that's on the radio, and you're like a breath of fresh air. It's starting at 3:00 every day.
Well, thank
Can
you.
you take a look at what's going on, generally speaking, in the world? The crises that are going on. You got Putin in Russia. You got ISIS. You got Ebola. And here at home, we got trying to be politically correct with all this turmoil with racial tensions. Okay? And so we come on and we get a little brevity. You always make it fun for us people out here. Okay? So we appreciate this you're talking and everything. It's very, very entertaining.
Well, I appreciate that, George. That's what we try to do here. By the way, I just finished reading Killing Patton, Bill O'Reilly's book about the assassination, I believe, of George Patton. And it's really fascinating. If Dwight Eisenhower had paid attention to George Patton rather than being jealous of him, we would have eliminated that damn Russian threat a long, long time ago. But instead, you got that little dictator.
Go in there right away and do away with take care of the Russians after the war.
And I got to tell you, as bad as the German, hold on, George, hold on. As bad as the German atrocities were, and they were horrific, Russia's atrocities were virtually as bad. I mean, Stalin was nothing but a murderer as well, and people need to understand that. The Russian soldiers, when they came into Berlin, did nothing but rape the women repeatedly, kill them. They didn't care. They considered it their right. So the Russians were every bit as bad as the Germans, and Eisenhower's in bed with Stalin. Eisenhower, if you read the history of that situation, Eisenhower is one of the worst people surrounding that war. He was a two-bit backstabbing traitor to his allies, especially Winston Churchill. So Eisenhower and Roosevelt cooked up the deals to let Russia have pretty much all of Europe and have their run of the mill there. And if they'd listened to Patton, that wouldn't have happened.
There's no question about it, Kevin. Let me ask you this. A couple quick hits. Tonight, do you think I know that they're celebrating the 1999 Rams. Are they going to show that, have an announcement during halftime that what you think the people would generally be able to see? You think there's going to be that type of thing on TV?
What do you mean by announcement?
Well, in other words, introducing these guys or whatever, is there going to be sort of that on TV?
I have no idea what the ESPN plans to do with the halftime and what the Rams are doing with the halftime. I don't know either. NFL halftimes are so short that it'll be hard to do much. But those, hey, you never know. The 590, 1380 tailgate party at the north lot of the Dome with all kinds of food, beer for $3, DJ. Maybe some of the Rams of the 99 team will stop by there. So if you're going down to tailgate, stop by our tailgate party. You never know. But I don't.
Idea.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen.
Also, getting to this Georgia game, let me ask you a question. Have you ever seen a worse coach that doesn't? It seems the game plan is erratic at best, and there's no seemingly adjustments at halftime. How can he put three men on the line every time? They get beat badly with three men on the line. The running back hits the outside, boom, and he's gone.
I mean, wouldn't you
I
expect?
don't understand that at all.
Wouldn't you expect that after the thrashing Pinkel took against Auburn in the Auburn game last year that he would have learned how to stop a running game by now, or at least learn to put five or six guys up front?
That reminded me of the Auburn game. There's no question about it. But you remember the movie Rudy?
Yes.
Okay, I know that was one of your favorite movies, but there was a scene in Rudy where the coach, which was a very good friend of yours at the time, it was a very good friend of yours, and you brought him back to Missouri. I remember that.
Dan Devine.
And he said, nobody comes into our house, okay, and shows us up. Well, Missouri, I mean, it's one thing to get beat, but to get to lay down or whatever, that's terrible on national TV to get embarrassed like that.
That was pretty embarrassing in your own stadium, and I'm telling you that carries a residual effect in recruiting too. There isn't any doubt about that.
There's no question, Kevin. It's always good to talk to you, and keep up the good fight. And I still put you as the one of the tops as far as selling over the radio. You're there with Arthur Godfrey and Jack Buck. Jack Carney, you're right there with them, Kevin.
Well, thank you, George. I appreciate that, and our sponsors appreciate that as well.
Take care.
You too. Yeah, that's I'm telling you, a 34-0 stomping when you still can't stop the run, couldn't stop it against Auburn, couldn't stop it against anybody that's any good, is amazing to me. I don't know why you don't put a 6-man front up there when you're getting pounded like that. At least make them throw.
Mizzou had a lot of high school recruits in the building that day as well.
Saturday, because you were up there.
Giving them the whole show, showing them around the stadium.
And then the game started.
And there's our scoreboard. Don't look at the score, though.
Our scoreboard blocks out the score, and we're getting pounded at home. We don't want it up there. Hey, remember I told you a few hours ago, listen to me, about an hour ago, Jimbo Fisher down at Florida State says he has absolutely no concern that Jameis Winston will miss any games due to any suspension from the university when they have the code of conduct hearing that they're going to have for Winston regarding that alleged rape. Now comes word that Florida State is also looking into Winston being a part of this autograph syndicate that went after Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley suspended by Georgia last week before the Missouri game. The James Spence authentication certified more than 500 autographs of Gurley, and just an easy search on that same website finds more than 340 certified Winston autographs. Now, Jimbo Fisher says he asked Winston after their game Saturday if he signed autographs for pay, and Winston told him no. So that's it. End of discussion. What do you think Winston's going to tell you? Yeah, sure.
I'm not your property.
Good grief. So we'll see if that also becomes part of the code of conduct hearing. Fisher says kids sign things all the time. What do you want them to do? Stop signing stuff? Well, if the NCAA rules prohibit you getting paid, you might want them to not get paid. You might advise them of that. Jimbo Fisher sounds like he's lost his mind. Look, I think it's wrong. I think the players should be able to sign autographs and they should be able to get paid, but the rule says no. So what's Jimbo Fisher? What do you want the kids to do? Stop signing stuff? How about obey the rules? Maybe you can start there. Sounds like Fisher's part of the problem, not the solution down there. This could lead to a real standoff between Fisher and the Florida State administration as to who's really running that university. Dave's up next. Welcome, Dave. How are you?
Kevin, I'm doing well. How are you? Carpe diem.
Carpe diem.
You know, Kevin, with the sitting president, is it Jimmy Obama or Barack Carter? It kind of takes you back when the peanut brain was in office and nobody feared or respected us. And then we got Reagan, who, you know, they said, hey, like me or not, I don't care, but you will respect us. And I pray to God the next president has Ronald Reagan-esque leadership, who doesn't care what the world thinks, but leads this country in the direction he thinks it needs to go.
Can't we just bring Reagan back?
Hey, I got no problem with that. At 100-some-odd years old, he couldn't do any worse than what these ass clowns have been doing.
And no question about that. No doubt.
Kevin, let's talk about the Kansas City Cardinals. Have I been back to the future? I haven't seen a Kansas City game all year, but I had the privilege of watching their first two playoff games. I felt like I was watching Whitey ball again.
Well, you are.
Speed, defense, and one home run hitter.
You're watching it, and you're watching good pitching along with it with a spectacular bullpen. So it's a carbon copy of the Whitey Herzog teams of the 80s. There's no doubt about it. That's what's going on in Kansas City. Now, the difference is you had a smart manager in Whitey, but you've got a dunce in Ned Yost. So there's a big difference there. But like most managers today, Yost outlives his stupidity. These guys get lucky and they win anyway. Right now, what's going on in Kansas City is magical with the home runs they're hitting. And the same is happening here in St. Louis. I mean, I thought the Cardinals were dead last night when they trailed 3-2. But all of a sudden, Adams hits a home run, ties the game. Then, wait a minute. Tavares hits a home run, ties the game. Adams hits a home run to take the lead. And then Wong hits a home run to win the game. Cardinals hit home runs in 3 straight innings last night, the last 3 innings. That's probably never happened. I guarantee it hadn't happened all this year.
Kevin, we've talked about this before. I have never in my life, as long as I've watched sports, seen two of the dumbest managers have the most luck, as you would say, LaRouche bag, and LaRouche Bag Jr. How is it that these guys have the eyes of the baseball gods covering their back when they're such dumbasses and inept? I don't understand it.
Throw Bruce Bochy in there and throw Ned Yost in there. I mean, Bochy's so lucky. He gets Rosenthal to throw a ball in the dirt 5 feet in front of home plate and has Cruz try to backhand it so that a guy can score from second base to tie the game in the 9th inning. How lucky is Bochy? And this is a guy who keeps throwing right-handers in there to pitch the left-handers, and the left-handers keep hitting home runs. And it still hasn't sunk into Bochy. I wonder if I'm making a bad move here.
Well, Kevin, I tell you what, the sports in this town, as you would say, always makes your job easier. And, in closing, the one thing, you remember how fans would always say, oh, we hate seeing the Yankees in there all the time. A lot of the best fans in baseball from this town, we hate the Yankees. Well, wait a minute. Is it time to start hating your own hometown Cardinals? Because they've been in the playoffs a lot. And I'm just using the standard that the best fans in baseball have used.
Yeah,
They're tired of seeing the Yankees.
Yeah, I'm a believer.
Does it make sense?
I'm a believer that dynasties are good for sports, and they're good for the sport they have them in. The Yankees have always been good for baseball. The Cardinals in the National League have been good for the National League because it gives other teams a team to hate. It generates interest. If fans in other cities want to hate you, that's what baseball wants. It creates interest. Now, I don't think the Cardinals are a dynasty yet because they've only won 2 World Series in the last 10 years, but they're at least in the hunt every year. And so based on today's standards, that's a dynasty.
Absolutely. Hey, Kevin, the interview you had with Bill DeWitt, again, as always, fantastic. I know it was more of a lighthearted interview, and whether you like Bill DeWitt or not, you got to respect the guy because he doesn't duck or dodge. And I love listening to you guys talk because it seems like 2 old buddies sitting down having a cigar and a beer, just shooting the breeze back and forth, and it's really entertaining.
I appreciate that. And it's very Bill's a fun guy to talk with, and like you said, it doesn't matter what question. He's never once asked me in advance what the questions are going to be about. He comes on and answers anything I ask him.
Kevin, you have a great day. Have a great week. Carpe diem to you and Owen, and keep fighting the good fight, and don't let the bastards get you down.
We won't, Dave. Thank you. We appreciate it. Hey, down at Ernie Patty Collision Center, if you're feeling down about your car because some knucklehead ran into you, or if you slipped off the road in this crazy rain we're having, or if you just need some your major replacements of your engines or transmissions, minor paintless dents to major collision damage, all mechanical repairs, tire and wheel balancing, alignments, the Ernie Patty Collision Center is the place to go. 4823 Potomac, 314-752-0400. Folks, they've been in the same spot for over 25 years. Now, when you do that, Gene Stat and his staff make sure that you're happy and make sure they're pricing it right, treating you fairly. Pricing is great. Direct repair for most major insurance companies. A lifetime guarantee on all workmanship and paint. And they've gone green waterborne paints. They're environmentally friendly now. If you like getting your car back quickly from your repairs, Ernie Patty Collision Center is the answer. You can watch the progress of your repairs online at ErniePattyCollision.com. 314-752-0400, the Ernie Patty Collision Center. We'll be back with more of the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court right after this.
This is a beer ad for guys who like drinking beer with their buddies and watching football while drinking beer with their buddies at a bar while eating fried food and high-fiving. Ever high-five while eating fried food? We call it high-friving. Buddies and beer, football and fried food. But this is a beer ad for a different type of beer with a refreshing taste of apple. It's called Red's Apple Ale. You can still drink it with your buddies while watching football, or drink it while doing something a little different, like watching rugby or professional arm wrestling. Or if you're feeling really crazy, get some Red's Apple Ale and 2 TVs and watch rugby and arm wrestling at the same time. Because that's exactly what Red's is. A little different and anything but ordinary. Crisp like an apple, brewed like an ale. Red's Apple Ale. Pick different. Red's Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility.
Hello, gorgeous. Bare Minerals just won its 9th Glammy Award for Best Prestige Foundation. And to celebrate, we're offering risk-free trials of Bare Minerals makeup to all women nationwide. That's right, every woman who calls right now can get a full-size risk-free trial of Bare Minerals makeup, plus a free 5-piece makeup set. For yours, call 1-800-605-9625. This is an exclusive radio-only offer you don't want to miss. Bare Minerals Foundation gives you flawlessly beautiful coverage with a no-makeup feel, and it's clinically proven to promote clearer, healthier-looking skin. No wonder it's won 9 Glammys in a row, and now you can try Bare Minerals makeup for yourself. Call now to find out how you can participate in our nationwide risk-free trial and join the millions who've already tried Bare Minerals makeup and fallen in love with their skin again. Plus, we'll send you a free 5-piece makeup set, our gift to you. Hurry, don't miss this exclusive radio-only offer. 1-800-605-9625. 1-800-605-9625.
590 KFNS, Wood River, St. Louis.
Sports Talk Radio.
I'm Kathy Cutis, part of the 4th generation of the Tom Cutis family. The Cutis family is here to personally guarantee that when the time arrives for funeral arrangements, no one will be pressured to make decisions that would not fit your family needs. Our trained, licensed funeral directors will answer your questions and you make the decisions. If you feel you are in a situation that does not give you the time to decide for your family, you are in the wrong place. Contact Cutis Funeral Homes, affordability with dignity for over 100 years.
This Saturday, October 18th and Sunday the 19th, come dream and look around the giant flea market while finding your treasures at the Belclaire Expo Center, 200 South Bell East in Belleville. The best flea market anywhere. You name the item and it's probably there. So come find it, whatever it might be, at the Belclaire Expo Center this weekend. This is a can't miss event at the Belclaire Expo Center this Saturday and Sunday. Treasures await you.
This is Dr. Eddie Weller
and Lisa Jenkins,
host of Getting Weller. Join us Saturday at noon on AM 590 as we help you jump life's hurdles. Remember, life is not about being better. It's about getting weller.
Let me ask you a question. Are you getting enough? I bet you'd love more, right? Well, AdamandEve.com wants to give you more with 10 free gifts. First, you'll get a sexy surprise for her. Second, a specially selected toy for him. And third, a little something we know you'll both enjoy. Plus, you'll get 6 full-length adult movies on DVD. And number 10, free shipping on your entire order. So what do you have to do to get your 10 free gifts? It's not hard. Just go to AdamandEve.com and select any one item. It could be an adventurous new toy, sexy piece of lingerie, or anything you desire. Just enter offer code FREE68 at checkout, and you'll get all 10 free gifts. Go check out AdamandEve.com today. Select one item and get 10 free gifts, including free shipping, when you enter offer code FREE68. That's FREE 68 at AdamandEve.com.
It's time for the back-to-school buyback at Jim Butler Kia.
Oh, too much on your trade-in?
We'll buy it back, and you drive home a new Kia with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty and a low payment. Sign and drive with $0 out of pocket. $198 per month on 2015 Kia Optimas. $256 per month on 2015 Kia Serenos. Big selection, big savings, and it's all at the back-to-school buyback. Only at JimButlerKia.com. The only place to go for your next Kia. Leases 0 down, 0 security deposit, 0 first payment based on 39 months, 12,000 miles per year. Payments plus TTNL. Ends 9/2/14.
St. Louis is all about sports, and locally owned and operated Culpepper's Grill and Bar is the best place to watch our sports teams. In addition to great food and fabulous drink specials, Culpepper's is hosting free weekly football pools for all Rams and Mizzou football games. For the Rams, come in and put your business card on the board and claim your square to win Culpepper's gift cards at the end of every quarter. For you Mizzou fans, just ask the bartender to be entered in the pool ahead of each week's game. But that's not all. Culpepper's wants to make winners out of Cardinals fans. Get all your friends together to watch all the postseason games at Culpepper's, because each location picks a gift card winner every time the Cardinals score. Want to know more? Follow Culpepper's on Facebook for the latest details, updates on the football pools, and to see winners like yourself having fun. This season, be a fan of Culpepper's.
Watch the Cardinals in the playoffs at Culpepper's and enter for a chance to win Culpepper's gift cards every time they score. Plus, claim your square for this week's Rams football pool.
Please remove those hats. You're in the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court on 590 The Man.
We welcome you back in. Kevin Slayton here in the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. Glad you're along with us on 590 The Man and streaming live at talkstl.com. Talkstl.com. Our lines are always open at 399-8923. 399-8923. Here's another development in the Jameis Winston case down at Florida State. There's going to be a former Florida Supreme Court justice as the hearing officer on his code of conduct, potential code of conduct violations at Florida State. Now, they'll have to pick from one of the judges will be chosen from 3 candidates. Now, one of them went to the University of Florida Law School, so I would assume he'll be struck. Each side can strike one. One of them is a native of Charlotte, North Carolina, and went to Wake Forest and Virginia's law school. So that'll probably be the guy they'll select. He doesn't have any loyalties to Florida. But then we shall see, and he will conduct the hearing, and he will then decide on any punishment, if there is any, for Jameis Winston. Jimbo Fisher's starting to get very close to getting himself over the edge in terms of what he's saying and how he's trying to prejudice this case. I mean, the coach, if he's thinking, wouldn't be saying anything. He's claiming there's no worries at all whatsoever. So he's basically telling the Supreme Court judge, screw you. That won't sit well with most Supreme Court judges. I can promise you that. All right, Game 3 in Kansas City rained out tonight. The Royals will not play until tomorrow. Down here at the Dome, that football game on Monday Night Football will not be rained out. The Rams will play the 49ers. And 590 and 1380 have a Rams tailgate party going on in the north lot, north of the Dome. All kinds of wonderful food and cold beer for $3. The beer's only $3. A DJ is there. So if you're pre-gaming it and tailgating it, that's the place to go. Sponsored by IT Works, MLM Law Group, Paul Cerami, Kia Ford, Max Muscle, 2 Girls, 4 Wheels, and Mastermind Vodka. It's all going on right now until 7:30. So if you're heading down to the game, stop in at the 590-1380 tailgate party in the north parking lot, north of the Dome. JoJo is up first. Welcome, JoJo. How are you today?
I'm doing well, Kevin. Thank you. You've been talking about the managers and some of the poor decisions they've made. If you mentioned it, I didn't hear you. The worst one, in my opinion, by far, was the first game with Matheny pinch hitting with Tony Cruz against Baumgartner with the 2nd and 3rd and 2 outs. You don't have anybody. I understand it's a lefty-righty thing, but if you're going to choose the righty, wouldn't you choose Burgess? Well, in fact, I would rather have Krasinski or Oscar instead of Tony Cruz in that spot.
Well,
what are your thoughts?
I'm in total agreement with you. The last guy that I would have sent up there would be Tony Cruz. I would have preferred Burgess. He would have been my first choice in that particular situation. But if Burgess wouldn't have been available, Taveras, Brzezinski, even Descalso before Tony Cruz. I don't think Tony Cruz is a threat to get a hit ever.
Why do you think he did that? I don't know if anyone asked him. That was insane. And it was the key part of the game. They didn't. That was the only time all night they had 2 runners in scoring position.
I'm sure it's because it was a lefty-righty. But why him over Burgess? He'll never be asked that by the media that really holds his feet to the fire.
Yeah, it's just, like I said, not trying to pick on Cruz. It is what it is. He's a backup catcher.
Yeah, and he's not a good hitter.
Catchers are the worst hitters in the league, plain and simple.
Well, he's not a good hitter anyway. Burgess isn't a great hitter, but he's more of a threat than he is. And in fact, in that situation, you could even have Burgess possibly bunt for a hit.
Right. There's no comparison if you just want to look at those two.
Well, Matheny hates Burgess so much.
There's no scenario where I would choose Cruz over Burgess. None.
No, Matheny hates Burgess. I mean, if you don't put Burgess in as a defensive replacement late in these games, you're out of your mind. But he doesn't do it.
Yeah, like I said, you mentioned it earlier, very, very inconsistent. But if he's going with Gerchek, whatever the hell his name is, because of his defense. But yet, your best defensive player, you're keeping him on the bench.
Well, I still haven't seen Grichuk make a play that makes me think he should be playing because of his defense. Somebody call me when he does, because I haven't seen it yet. So I don't know what they're talking about defense. And I haven't seen Tavares louse up in the outfield either. So I don't know what Matheny's talking about except for this. That's his justification for not playing a guy he doesn't like, and that's Tavares. And he's not so wild about Burgess either. It's very similar to David Freese. Oh, no, we'll get him out of there in the late innings because I don't like him anyway. David Freese was the best third baseman defensively the Cardinals had.
Yeah, and I mean, last I heard, this is a business, and you're not supposed to be making those decisions based on favoritism, but I know it happens in the real world. I didn't expect it to see it in sports.
No, you would think.
But it does happen.
The guys that produce are the guys that should play. Now, I'm not saying that Burgess is a great hitter or Tavares has been great offensively or Przinsky, but they're better than Cruz.
Yeah, no, and at least the worst move was along those lines is when he started when he started Cosma in game 1 against Kershaw, just because he has that 4 for 8. I don't care. Wong is significantly, you have a much better shot with Wong than you do Peter Cosma.
Well, and then
it was disgraceful.
You've got the inconsistency factor because when Kershaw came back on 3 days rest, you didn't see Cosma in the lineup. So if it was such a great matchup in game 1, how come he wasn't there the next time around?
Correct. He took him. Yeah, you can't be making these sorts of mistakes in the playoffs. They're tight games. Any poor decision can make the difference between winning and losing. And we're doing all this talk about the managers. It's mind-boggling, especially in baseball, because the decisions really aren't that difficult to make.
No, and how about
managers can actually affect the outcome of the game because of their stupidity.
How about these?
It shouldn't be that way.
How about Reynolds and Verducci falling all over themselves, telling you how great Bruce Bochy is at handling a bullpen? Because I think 23 straight postseason games, the bullpen for the Giants hasn't lost a game, and yet that's due to the bullpen being good. It's not necessarily how the manager uses them, because as we found out last night, Bochy has no clue how to use his bullpen. You bring right-handers in to face left-handers? What? And, of course, all 3 of them hit home runs off right-handers. It's amazing that Bochy fouled that game up that badly.
Yeah. I lost my train of thought. I was going to bring up one more point on the Cardinal game, but I can't recall. But
you were talking about the lineup,
Kevin, isn't it unfortunate that we're having a Monday night game, yet nobody gives a damn because of how pathetic the team is?
It's pretty sad that you could have an off day for the Cardinals in the playoffs, have Monday Night Football here with your division rival, and nobody really cares. But nobody really cares.
No. Yeah. And it's early in the season. It's pathetic. That just tells you how poor of a franchise it is. And, it's a shame. It shouldn't be that way, but it is what it is.
It's sad.
It's such a sorry franchise.
Monday Night Football here used to be a happening. I mean, remember the days of the Greatest Show on Turf, and even some years after that, a Monday Night Football game was a happening. But under Fisher's regime, everybody knows how bad the team is and how badly coached they are. And so what's the point? Why get excited?
Yeah. Final thing, I do remember what I was going to bring up about the Cardinals and the home runs. Kevin, all year long, the Cardinals weren't hitting these home runs. They weren't hitting mistakes. They had plenty of pitchers make mistakes all the time. The Cardinals just couldn't hit it. What the hell is going on now where they're finally starting to hit mistakes? I have no idea. It's totally crazy.
Well, I don't know either. These are obviously, I'm sure that pitchers made these kinds of mistakes during the regular year, and maybe the focus is just more intense for the Cardinal hitters. Maybe that's the issue. Or maybe in even regular season games, maybe managers actually pitched left-handed relievers against left-handed hitters. Not Bruce Bochy. He decided, I'm going to throw them right-handers at him. Well, that worked out well.
Yeah, the shocking thing on that is that that's basic 101. It's as basic as it gets.
Yeah, and you've got
Adams, just use him as an example. He's hitting 200 all year. And a lot of lefties have made him look really silly. That one was a total shocker.
All three of them were a total
Thank
shocker.
you.
All right, thanks, JoJo. All three of them were a total shocker to me. I mean, and especially when you see that Lopez pitch, he's nasty. And he's really nasty to left-handers. So it really was a brain fart 3 times on the part of Bruce Bochy. Like I said, I doubt that it's ever happened before that the Cardinals hit home runs in the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning. You probably have to look through the history books of baseball for any team to have done that. But they did it last night. And with a big assist from Bruce Bochy. But all you hear in the national media, I just start thinking the national media is as dumb as the local media. What a great manager this guy is. And boy, he handles that bullpen brilliantly. He does? I wish you could give me an example of that after watching these 2 games. What he does have is he has great starting pitching. And for the most part, his bullpen has done the job when employed correctly. But he certainly didn't employ them correctly last night. Wow. Unbelievable. Hey, our good friends at Taco Bell, if you're riding around looking for a place to go watch the game, go grab a quesarito. That's their newest entry, but guess what else they have? They have the Dollar Crave menu. 11 different items at Taco Bell for just $1 a piece. 11. And it's not like they're offering you junk items. They're offering you great stuff off their menu. 11 different items for $1 a piece. And don't forget all the regular stuff that you've always come to know and love. The Doritos Locos Tacos, still there. Soft and hard shell tacos, still there. Bean burritos, taco salads, all of that. Cool Ranch Doritos tacos. Taco Bell is the most innovative of the fast food industry that there is. They're always innovating, but they don't take away the popular items. So you have it all. And, of course, that Breakfast Club. Open at 7 a.m. Steak and egg burritos. Spectacular. Waffle tacos, AM crunch wrap, AM grilled tacos, sausage flatbread melt, the regular breakfast burrito, and the Cinnabon Delights. I'm always telling people, grab a bunch of those Cinnabon Delights, take them to your office. You'll be the most popular person there. And I love supporting locally owned businesses, so I support locally owned Taco Bells. In the Missouri and Illinois area, they're in Washington in Missouri, Union, St. Clair, Chesterfield Valley, another one in Chesterfield on Olive. They're in Illinois and Columbia, Waterloo, Jerseyville, Salem, Troy, and Carbondale. Those are all locally owned Taco Bells. All right, David is up next. Welcome to the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. David, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Good.
Hey, I'm just calling. I just don't understand what the fascination is with the media with Jameis Winston. I mean, obviously the guy isn't the brightest kid, but that's the thing. He's a kid. He's 20 years old. And this New York Times thing that came out last week, I mean, didn't really report anything earth-shattering or new. It's just rehashing old headlines and putting new headlines on them is what they're doing.
Well, the newest development is that they're going to investigate whether he's associated with the same autograph business that Todd Gurley is being investigated about. And if that's the case, he may well be suspended until that's resolved.
Well, if they have proof of that, fine. But, I mean, we went through this last year with Taj Boyd, Teddy Bridgewater, Jadeveon Clowney, and obviously the burden of proof is on the NCAA. Obviously, they had Johnny Knoxville or Johnny Football dead to rights, and, you know, you had to prove it, and, you know, they basically gave him a slap on the wrist. I mean, there's no proof.
They've done more against Todd Gurley, and there's no proof there. There's an investigation that's ongoing, and he's suspended indefinitely.
Well, I believe that the gentleman who turned him in has video of him signing.
Well, so what? Everybody knows he signed.
Testimony that he gave him $3,000 to sign the footballs and helmets.
Well, there's no video that he handed cash to him. There's video of him signing. Big deal. That's not proof of anything except that he signed it.
I agree with you 100%. So that's what I'm asking is how you think how they're going to tie Jameis Winston down when they're not going to be able to I mean, again, without any kind of proof. Now, this guy who turned him in is a University of Florida graduate. Don't you think if he was going to bring Todd Gurley down, he'd bring Jameis Winston down with him?
Well, maybe he is. They're saying now that there's 340 certified autographs from the same company of Jameis Winston. Now, Georgia acted while there's an ongoing investigation into Todd Gurley. Let's see if Florida State is going to do the same. I don't believe Gurley should have been suspended until the investigation's complete, and I don't believe Winston should be, but Gurley already has been. So I don't know what the standard is for these schools when there's an ongoing investigation. In Manziel's case, it was ongoing during the offseason.
Well, it's just like, last week with the University of Florida. And like you said, they were cowards for suspending Treon Harris. And they were found, obviously, the girl dropped her charges, and now he gets to come back and play. But that poor man, the young man had his name trashed, just like Jameis Winston's name was trashed last year, just like Todd Gurley is being trashed now. And I don't think Florida State deserves criticism because Jameis Winston's yet to be charged with anything, and he's yet to be charged with this autograph thing.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on. You're not accurate there. I mean, Jameis Winston pleaded guilty to stealing, to theft.
I apologize. I was referring to the sexual assault and the autograph thing. But yes, he did. He was, and he served his penalty both civilly and to the baseball team.
Right. So now what's the deal? What's the standard? I don't know. I don't know if the NCAA requires you to be suspended while there's an ongoing investigation. I wouldn't think that's a requirement. So the real question for me is why did Georgia act so quickly? I don't understand that.
Well, and what we don't know is what's behind the scenes. Maybe Todd Gurley said, "Yeah, I screwed up." We don't know that.
Yeah, but I doubt it. I doubt it. When's the last time you saw a guy who screwed up and he's about to get suspended, but there's no evidence of it, saying, "Yeah, you're right, I did." I don't think that exists.
You're right. Good point. Well, like I said, I just think this the constant media crap that they're doing. It's just every time the wind blows, they
here's the thing.
To something to sell papers.
Here's the thing that you got to understand: this code of conduct hearing is completely separate from the criminal investigation. This code of conduct deal is going to have a lot broader standard, and so if this presiding federal judge, not federal judge, but state Supreme Court judge, determines that he violated these 4 code of conduct allegations, he could be suspended or kicked off the team. So that remains to be seen in terms of how that's going to be handled, but that's going to take place pretty quickly.
Well, yeah, they said 2 to 3 weeks, but my question is, has there been any new evidence that's been brought to light that the state prosecuting attorney didn't have a year ago?
Whether there is or isn't is irrelevant. There may well be enough evidence to support a code of conduct violation. Remember, that's a different standard than a rape charge. You don't have to be guilty beyond a reasonable doubt in a code of conduct violation. They can simply find that what you did with this girl violates the Florida State Code of Conduct, even though it doesn't rise to criminal activity.
And the penalty isn't necessarily expulsion or anything like that. I mean, it could be as little as, a slap,
it could be anything.
Service or anything like that.
It could go up to suspension and expulsion.
Absolutely. And obviously, with the evidence that I've read the police reports. I'm very familiar with the case, and I just don't see how they can find him guilty of any kind of thing that any other college kid doesn't do on every campus
but you've got
across the country every single night.
You've got to understand that is a lot lesser standard of proof. So I can see where they'd find him guilty of a code of conduct violation.
Well, that remains to be seen. Like I said, it irks me every time I hear the media go on and on and on every time the wind blows about Amos.
Well, the question is going to become, he may be found guilty of a code of conduct violation, and then what is the punishment? That will be the key. My guess is they'll say something to the effect, we find him guilty of some code of conduct violations, but he's going to be censored by us keeping an eye on him now, and if anything else should happen, he'll face expulsion.
Well, and that would make sense. I just wish all this stuff would die down and let the kids play ball.
Well, they would let him play ball if they'd quit breaking the rules. I mean, you got a guy who stole from a store, who robbed a store. We know that. So if Jameis Winston had quit doing this kind of crap, his name wouldn't keep getting in the paper or the media for it. Now, let's wait and see on the autographs because nobody knows. But that's a simple thing too. Like I said earlier, I disagree that players shouldn't be allowed to be paid, but they're not allowed. So since that's the rule, if you don't want to risk being suspended, don't do it.
I couldn't argue with you there. Same with Florida last week, and these kids, I don't think they need to be suspended before the charges are pressed. They're arrested.
Florida was so incorrect in the way they acted. You've got a president of the university basically saying this kid is guilty of sexual assault. I mean, he right. said in suspending him that we don't tolerate sexual assault, as if this kid committed sexual assault. What kind of of a signal is that from a university president? That's atrocious.
It's terrible.
I mean, that's the guy.
At the University of Florida. So.
Yeah, he's the guy that should be
You're not
fired.
going to find me to defend them.
Yeah. All right. I appreciate it.
Hey, thanks, Kevin.
Thanks for the call. We'll take a break. This is the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court coming back on 590 The Man and streaming live at talkstl.com right after this.
In the fields of bodies burning as the war machine keeps turning, death and hatred to mankind, poisoning their brainwashed minds. Oh, Lord,
Dogtown Pizza is the freshest pizza in your local grocer's freezer aisle. All Dogtown Pizza sauce, crust, and cheese are 100% natural, and they use local ingredients from local suppliers. They also offer a full-service fundraising program dedicated to providing you with the best possible experience and achieving the results you desire. For more information, visit dogtownpizza.com. Who bakes the best pizza in St. Louis? You do. Dogtown Pizza, family-owned and operated.
Pressure in sports is all part of the game. The home team putting pressure on the opposing team and coming out victorious. But being pressured into something you don't need or want is an entirely different thing. If you have ever been in a situation where you have been pressured to buy, you will understand what I am about to say. There are numerous funeral homes in our area, all looking for your business. Many have quotas that must be met in both dollars and volume, and this can mean pressure. In actuality, many of their funeral directors are just salespeople who are required to sell a certain amount or lose their position. At Cutis Funeral Home, we have no quotas, and because we are locally owned, we have no outside expenses that must be met. This means when you come to Cutis, you will never, ever be pressured into something you don't need or want. I'm Kim Cutis, and I personally guarantee you that at Cutis Funeral Homes, you will never feel pressure.
Locally owned and operated Cutis Funeral Homes with 3 locations, South City, Hampton, and South County.
This is a beer ad for guys who like drinking beer with their buddies and hanging out and high-fiving each other while hanging out and drinking beer. But this is a beer ad for a different type of beer with a refreshing taste of apple. Red's Apple Ale. It's just the right amount of different. So this beer ad doesn't end with 4 dudes doing a quadruple high five because honestly, who does that? Crisp like an apple, brewed like an ale. Red's Apple Ale. Pick different. Red's Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell of the domestic litigation firm Cordell & Cordell. Here are a few quick divorce tips that we provide our clients. Number 1. Don't move out of your house just because your wife tells you to. Remember, that's your house too. And number 2, don't blow through the financial statements that you file with the court. These are key exhibits, and they often make or break your case. And number 3, watch the social networking. Expect your wife's lawyer to do a thorough online search. And incidentally, this is a two-way street. Now, a bonus tip. Partner with your attorney in assembling evidence. You're one of the 2 leading experts on your life and marriage. Your attorney needs your input to achieve your goals. And finally, talk to your attorney before taking action. Good luck.
Call Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's attorneys, a partner men can count on. 314-725-0000. Office is in St. Louis, St. Charles, Jefferson County, Edwardsville, Belleville, and Union by appointment only.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision that should not be based solely upon
In
advertising.
the nation, sometimes. But add brand new belongings from Nationwide Insurance and we'll replace destroyed items in your home with brand new versions. We put members first. Join the nation.
Nationwide is on your side.
To get your Nationwide insurance quote, text the word car quote to 51660.
Optional feature. Exclusions and limits apply. Damaged items may be repaired in some cases. Consult policy language for specifics. Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates, Columbus, Ohio.
Let me ask you a question. Are you getting enough? I bet you'd love more, right? Well, AdamandEve.com wants to give you more with 10 free gifts. First, you'll get a sexy surprise for her. Second, a specially selected toy for him. And third, a little something we know you'll both enjoy. Plus, you'll get 6 full-length adult movies on DVD. And number 10, free shipping on your entire order. So what do you have to do to get your 10 free gifts? It's not hard. Just go to AdamandEve.com and select any one item. It could be an adventurous new toy, sexy piece of lingerie, or anything you desire. Just enter offer code FREE68 at checkout, and you'll get all 10 free gifts. Go check out adamandeve.com today. Select one item and get 10 free gifts, including free shipping, when you enter offer code FREE68. That's FREE 68 at adamandeve.com.
St. Louis is all about sports, and locally owned and operated Culpepper's Grill and Bar is the best place to watch our sports teams. In addition to great food and fabulous drink specials, Culpepper's is hosting free weekly football pools for all Rams and Mizzou football games. For the Rams, come in and put your business card on the board and claim your square to win Culpepper's gift cards at the end of every quarter. For you Mizzou fans, just ask the bartender to be entered in the pool ahead of each week's game. But that's not all. Culpepper's wants to make winners out of Cardinals fans. Get all your friends together to watch all the postseason games at Culpepper's, because each location picks a gift card winner every time the Cardinals score. Want to know more? Follow Culpepper's on Facebook for the latest details, updates on the football pools, and to see winners like yourself having fun. This season, be a fan of Culpepper's.
Watch the Cardinals in the playoffs at Culpepper's and enter for a chance to win Culpepper's gift cards every time they score. Plus, claim your square for this week's Rams football pool.
Sit up straight. You're in the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court on 590 The Main.
And we welcome you back into the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. Kevin Slayton with you on 590 The Man and streaming live at TalkSTL.com. TalkSTL.com. Download the free app and away you go wherever you want to take us. Anywhere. Our lines are open at 399-8923. 399-8923. If you're headed down to the Rams 49er Monday Night Football game, make sure you stop by the 590-1380 Rams tailgate party. It's in the north lot, north of the Dome. And there'll be food. There'll be beer for $3. DJ playing some music. All brought to you by IT Works, MLM Law Group, Paul Cerami Kia Ford, Max Muscle, Two Girls, Four Wheels, and Mastermind Vodka. The 590-1380 Rams tailgate party, the north lot, north of the Dome. Have some fun. In honor of that, I'm going to have an ice cold PBR right now. Nothing like it. Owen, could you grab me one out of the cooler? Oh, there you go. Just listen to that. Best tasting beer in the world, supported by international beer tasting competitions. Best price beer. Helps your wallet. American original since 1844. Do the taste test like I did. Price test is a fact. Put your beer down for 2 weeks that you're used to drinking and drink PBR with an open mind for 2 weeks and see if you're not thinking what I thought. Wow. I remember it from college. We didn't care what it tasted like. It just cost the least. Little did we know we were drinking the best tasting beer in the world. Blind beer taste testing panels have decided that. Made up of the general public and brewmasters. Pabst Blue Ribbon, the American original. The original red, white, and blue. Well, if the Rams want this to be any kind of a successful season, they must win tonight. You can't lose to the 49ers on your home field and expect to have any kind of a year. Now, keep in mind, this is the same team that got obliterated by Minnesota on their home field, so who knows? It's the same team that blew a 21-point lead to Dallas on their home field. So to think that the Rams can't get blown out tonight is to think folly. Can they win? They can always win. The other team might not play well. If the Rams outplay San Francisco, I'll be surprised, because Jim Harbaugh will outcoach Jeff Fisher. Kingfish. That'll happen.
Kingfish, you don't love nobody.
I don't think he does. I doubt the Rams will run the ball with any success tonight. It's going to be on the arm of Austin Davis and a defense that so far has done nothing. And we all know Rams special teams are pathetic. Now, you might get a long field goal or two from Zerline, and it might be important when he kicks one. Who knows? That's why they play the game. Game 3 of the American League Championship Series has been postponed from rain in Kansas City, so the poor fans of Kansas City have waited 29 long years, and now they get their first division or the first League Championship Series home game rained out.
Let's go while we're young.
Yeah. Well, this rain might not stop while we're young. It's been a statewide thing. So they'll play tomorrow night, Game 3 instead of Game 4 tomorrow night. Cardinals are an afternoon game tomorrow. Molina made the trip. 3 o'clock first pitch for the Cardinals, 3:07, I believe it is. No word on whether Molina will play or not. My guess is Matheny won't make that decision until he has to.
I'm just curious, did you hear Aaron Andrews' little sideline report last night of Molina?
No, I didn't. But I know this. When she talks, she all of a sudden her voice trails away like she doesn't care.
Oh,
you can't even hear at the end of what she's saying.
So they go to her.
I don't really give a crap about this.
Last night it was like she was in some sort of Secret Service meeting.
Right.
They go to her after Molina gets hurt, and she's like, "Ooh, well, I was listening
to
the meeting, and I think they were talking about his oblique." It's like, what? You're on TV. I need to hear you.
And then after the game, when she was talking to Carpenter and Adams, her question, it's like she doesn't even care that she's there. It's hardly reporting. She asked them both the same questions. You know, how come you're hitting home runs now when you could hardly buy one in the regular season? She asked them both the same question. Well, because we're hitting them. That's why. How the hell do they know?
Because you're here, Aaron.
Yeah, throw them a fat pitch, they're going to hit one. Well, without Molina, my suggestion is you play Przinski. Now, I don't know if I'd play him against Bumgarner, but that's Game 5. You don't have to worry about that for 2 games. But I'd catch him tomorrow and Wednesday. Well, that's turning out to be a luck of the draw by keeping 3 catchers, isn't it?
No, Matheny's just a genius. He knew it.
I'd like to give him credit for thinking that there might be an injury to Molina, but I doubt that he thought that. I just think there's not. What else? Who else would you have kept? I mean, the Cardinal bench is a laughingstock. He can't stand Taveras, but Taveras is the only guy that can come off that bench and hit with any jolt, and he did last night. By the way, he's 2 for 5 as a pinch hitter in the playoffs, and he can't get himself a starting spot because Grichuk's hitting the robust 174. Holiday's hitting 211. And Taveras has as many homers as those 2 guys have in just 5 plate appearances. And probably forgotten in all that is Taveras getting a single in that key 7th inning rally against the Dodgers in Game 1. But Matheny wants to make everybody aware that somehow or another Oscar Taveras isn't a good outfielder. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen any bad play by him, just as I haven't seen any great play by Grichuk. They just tell you these things. Well, so what? I'll wait for my eyes to tell me. I don't need you to force feed me and then Harold Reynolds to just repeat what he gets force fed, because apparently he doesn't know. He acted as though Grichuk throwing from short right field, just behind Wong to the plate was a fantastic throw.
You could trouble me for a warm glass of shut the hell up.
I don't think he can shut up. That guy yaps on and on. I will take our final break of the show. This is the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court 590 The Man, streaming live, talkstl.com. Back after this.
Down in the waves, she screams again. Roar at the door.
It's time for the back-to-school buyback at Jim Butler Kia.
Oh, too much on your trade-in?
We'll buy it back, and you drive home a new Kia with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty and a low payment. Sign and drive with $0 out of pocket. $198 per month on 2015 Kia Optimas. $256 per month on 2015 Kia Serenos. Big selection, big savings, and it's all at the back-to-school buyback. Only at JimButlerKia.com. The only place to go for your next Kia. Leases 0 down, 0 security deposit, 0 first payment based on 39 months, 12,000 miles per year. Payments plus TT&L. Ends 9/2/14.
Monday Night Football comes to St. Louis October 13th as our Rams take on the 49ers. The Miller Coors tailgate party will kick off in the north lot of the Dome at 4:30 and rock on until game time at 7:30. Cheap beer products, great food, and music. Proceeds from the sales going to help our troops through the USO of Missouri. Come join the fun and get primed for the game. Presented by Miller Coors, the USO of Missouri, AM 590 and 1380, as well as MLM Law Firm, Paul Cerami Kia Ford, Max Muscle Supplement Superstore of Brentwood, and Mastermind Vodka.
Let me ask you a question. Are you getting enough? I bet you'd love more, right? Well, AdamandEve.com wants to give you more with 10 free gifts. First, you'll get a sexy surprise for her. Second, a specially selected toy for him. And third, a little something we know you'll both enjoy. Plus, you'll get 6 full-length adult movies on DVD. And number 10, free shipping on your entire order. So what do you have to do to get your 10 free gifts? It's not hard. Just go to AdamandEve.com and select any one item. It could be an adventurous new toy, sexy piece of lingerie, or anything you desire. Just enter offer code FREE68 at checkout, and you'll get all 10 free gifts. Go check out AdamandEve.com today. Select one item and get 10 free gifts, including free shipping, when you enter offer code FREE68. That's FREE 68 at AdamandEve.com.
St. Louis is all about sports, and locally owned and operated Culpepper's Grill and Bar is the best place to watch our sports teams. In addition to great food and fabulous drink specials, Culpepper's is hosting free weekly football pools for all Rams and Mizzou football games. For the Rams, come in and put your business card on the board and claim your square to win Culpepper's gift cards at the end of every quarter. For you Mizzou fans, just ask the bartender to be entered in the pool ahead of each week's game. But that's not all. Culpepper's wants to make winners out of Cardinals fans. Get all your friends together to watch all the postseason games at Culpepper's, because each location picks a gift card winner every time the Cardinals score. Want to know more? Follow Culpepper's on Facebook for the latest details, updates on the football pools, and to see winners like yourself having fun. This season, be a fan of Culpepper's.
Watch the Cardinals in the playoffs at Culpepper's and enter for a chance to win Culpepper's gift cards every time they score. Plus, claim your square for this week's Rams football pool.
Dogtown Pizza is the freshest pizza in your local grocer's freezer aisle. All Dogtown Pizza sauce, crust, and cheese are 100% natural, and they use local ingredients from local suppliers. They also offer a full-service fundraising program dedicated to providing you with the best possible experience and achieving the results you desire. For more information, visit dogtownpizza.com. Who bakes the best pizza in St. Louis? You do. Dogtown Pizza, family-owned and operated.
Pressure in sports is all part of the game. The home team putting pressure on the opposing team and coming out victorious. But being pressured into something you don't need or want is an entirely different thing. If you have ever been in a situation where you have been pressured to buy, you will understand what I am about to say. There are numerous funeral homes in our area, all looking for your business. Many have quotas that must be met in both dollars and volume, and this can mean pressure. In actuality, many of their funeral directors are just salespeople who are required to sell a certain amount or lose their position. At Cutest Funeral Home, we have no quotas, and because we are locally owned, we have no outside expenses that must be met. This means when you come to Cutest, you will never, ever be pressured into something you don't need or want. I'm Kim Cutest, and I personally guarantee you that at Cutest Funeral Homes, you will never feel pressure.
Locally owned and operated Cutest Funeral Homes with 3 locations, South City, Afton, and South County.
This is a beer ad for guys who like drinking beer with their buddies and hanging out and high-fiving each other while hanging out and drinking beer. But this is a beer ad for a different type of beer with a refreshing taste of apple. Red's Apple Ale. It's just the right amount of different. So this beer ad doesn't end with 4 dudes doing a quadruple high five, because honestly, who does that? Crisp like an apple, brewed like an ale. Red's Apple Ale. Pick different. Red's Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility.
This is the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court on 590 The Man.
And we welcome you back in the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. Kevin Slayton with you on 590 The Man, and of course streaming live at talkstl.com. Download that free app. Take us anywhere you want on your smartphone, or of course listen to us online, talkstl.com. If you're going down to the Rams 49ers Monday Night Football game, 590 and 1380 have a Rams tailgate party. Started at 4, it'll go until 7:30. It's in the north lot, north of the dome. Giant tent. Food, cold beer for $3, and a DJ. You can drink your beer there. Don't drink it in the stadium because you pay $9. All of our tailgate parties have been sponsored by IT Works, MLM Law Group, Paul Ceramic Kia Ford, Max Muscle, 2 Girls, 4 Wheels, Mastermind Vodka. 314-399-8923. Ever heard broadcasters who talk like that? There's always an in there. 399-8923 if you want to get through to us. And remind you that Green Envy, for all of your lawn needs, I had the guys come and aerate my yard and fertilize it on Saturday. They're locally owned and operated, Green Envy is, and they specialize in Missouri lawns. Over 70 years of that. Now, why is that important? Because if you know Missouri clay-based soil, you know what I'm talking about. They'll give you a guarantee. Weed control is guaranteed. They'll do everything. Grub control, lime applications, tree and shrub programs, aeration and seeding. That's what they did for me this past weekend. Call Green Envy at 636-757-1600. 636-757-1600. All right, the Cardinals and Giants are out in San Francisco for Game 3 tomorrow afternoon. It's a 3 o'clock game. The Blues are off until Thursday. Missouri took off last Saturday, you would think. They lost 34-0 to Georgia. And the Cardinals are going to send John Lackey out against Ryan Vogelsong of the Giants, but the Cardinals don't know if they'll be with or without Yadier Molina. He did make the trip, but no decision has been made yet as to whether he'll play in tomorrow's game. My guess is he won't, if that's so severe that he had to leave the game like that. I don't know what kind of drugs or injections you can give him that quickly to make that baby heal.
Cortisone.
You know, I guess if you can play without further injuring yourself, if it's just pain, you can certainly numb it up and go ahead and play. The question would be, would he further injure himself by playing, or is the risk great to do that? If it is, then you don't want to play him because it is disappointing, but it still is just this playoffs. It's not a career thing. I would imagine if he doesn't play that the Giants will test whomever Matheny puts behind the plate on the bases. You would certainly think so. We think Kansas City plays small ball. How about the Giants? I mean, you had 20 home runs from Pence, 22 from Posey, 16 from Sandoval this year. But they haven't hit a home run in the series yet. It's pretty amazing that nobody's hit one. They've hit some balls hard and come close, but to no avail. The Cardinals seem to hit a home run every inning.
Be gone!
It's pretty amazing. Well, they hit 4 last night.
All solo shots.
I was going to say 4 home runs and you score 5 runs. That's never good. Got to hit them with men on base, though the timing of them was pretty big last night. Carpenter hit the first one, of course, to give the Cardinals the lead. By now you know that the Cardinals hit a home run in the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning, all left-handers, all off right-handers. Bruce Bochy gets the dunce cap until further notice.
I'm not a smart man.
But it won't take Matheny long to outdunce him. Basically, he did last night. He let Lance Lynn bat with the bases loaded and 1 out and didn't bunt. Some of these decisions are mind-boggling. They all tell you, well, you know, those starters are going to have a short leash. Well, then when you have an opportunity to take Lynn out, get a hitter up there with the bases loaded, where you can break the game wide open, he doesn't take advantage of it.
I'm not a smart man.
No. Dumb and Dumber, Harry and Lloyd. And it certainly proved to be the case last night. An exciting, drama-filled late-inning game, but certainly a sloppy game, not worthy of 2 teams playing to go to the World Series. Hopefully the quality of play will improve. The Cardinals' defense was shoddy in Game 1. Carpenter and Wong. Grichuk dropping the ball when he hit the wall. Jay dropping the ball last night when he hit the ground. The wild pitch from Rosenthal. Cruz trying to backhand it instead of blocking it. Cruz getting a pass ball before that. Very sloppy baseball for a series that is to determine the nationally representative in the World Series. See if that picks up. 399-8923 if you want to jump in. Mississippi State is the number 1 ranked team in the country, as they should be. No question about it. I don't think Florida State should be number 2. I would have Florida State 3 or 4, Ole Miss at number 2. No doubt in my mind, those are the 2 best teams that I've seen, and they've merited it by beating the better teams on their schedule.
Respect my authority.
You better believe it. Nobody else has played the kind of schedule to this point that Mississippi State and Ole Miss have played. And they're both undefeated. Both have big road wins. Ole Miss at Texas A&M Saturday night. Earlier in the season, 3 weeks ago, Mississippi State at LSU. Mississippi State has beaten 3 consecutive top 10 ranked teams. Now, that doesn't mean they are top 10 teams, but they were ranked in the top 10. LSU has proven they're not a top 10 team subsequently, but at the time, no one knew the difference. Mississippi State has played the best college football. Notre Dame is the most overranked team, or overrated team. They're nowhere near a top 10 team. In my book, they're not even a top 50 team. If you can allow North Carolina to come in your own backyard and spank you around to the tune of 43 points, you're not a top 50 team.
You're not that good.
The Pittsburgh Steelers in the NFL. By the way, have we not seen that Ben Roethlisberger is really just an average quarterback? Ever since the demise of their defense, he's nothing. In fact, he's bad. That team's going nowhere and in no particular hurry to get there. They've got no idea what they're doing. They've got guys who drop passes. Good grief. Flush them. Flush them out of here. All right, folks, tomorrow the game is at 3 o'clock, so we will have a best of show, and we'll be back fighting the good fight for you again at 3 o'clock on Wednesday.